Hallo, guten Tag, guten Tag. Heute gibt's Dialogue. Dialogue. Dial-ogue? Dialogue. Let's go. Hello, Michelle. How are you doing over there? I seem to have gotten a bit used to life in Chroma City. Instead of the rising sun, I started dividing my days by payment approvals and insufficient funds. The light monopolized by Sunshine Corp has replaced the sun, and most things are solved with price tags. I wish beer was the only thing I had to pay for. Right, the price of beer went up again recently. Everything is going up, except for two things, the sun and my income. But Michelle, everything comes at a high price except for the value of labor. But I can find some stability, at least while I'm working. Das war irgendwie weird, der Satz, keine Ahnung. When I drifted here, after we parted ways, I thought my incompetence was the reason for our breakup. And that thought still weighs me down. I can't say things are completely different now. But here, at least while I'm holding onto my work, that weight lifts just for a moment. Regardless of how much I earn, for that time at least, I have the assurance that I won't collapse. The people I meet, the conversations we have, and what I've come to feel, I want to tell you about it. On the second floor of a commercial district, slightly away from the city center, repair clinic Dialogue. A place where the outside noise recedes with just a few words of small talk. Don't criticize my naming skills, because in Chroma City they give estimates for heartbreaks and charge for repairs. Lame. I said the name is totally lame. And Chris, did you have a beer? What's with the sentimental nonsense this early in the morning? I was thinking about the customer from yesterday and I couldn't help it. He came in saying his portable virtual ship was stuck and maybe it activated during repairs because he started running around the room like crazy, swinging a leather belt at me. Thanks to him, my dial equipment almost bit the dust too. That's because you have such a shady and lame name. Only customers fitting that description would show up. Huh. Don't tell me. You're talking about the oasis of Chroma City, bathed in neon light, Dialogue Repair Clinic? Our repair clinic is an all-around sanctuary that provides not just quick and accurate repairs, but also emotional stability through comfortable conversation. The shady name is exactly why EVEs needing repairs turn away and go elsewhere. Emotional stability for EVEs that feels less like shady, more like creepy. Is that why you habitually make EVEs wet themselves? To be precise, it's the act of discharging overheating coolant. It's the act of discharging overheated coolant. Your phrasing is misleading. Same difference. What do you mean same difference? You are probably the only one who describes it like that. Stop spouting nonsense so early and check your equipment already. Are you not opening for business today? You used to love stories like this. Even though you used to sing about wanting to become an EVE when you were little. Shut up. Seems like the hangover from yesterday's beer is pretty bad. And speaking of EVEs, why don't you replace the outdated equipment in your repair clinic? Using a dial when D1L, when D5L is already out, is disrespectful to them. What you're overlooking is that D1AL equipment is strictly specialized for diagnosis. The diagnostic performance was so good from the first generation that even with the 5th generation out, it hasn't improved dramatically. Then what's different? The main advancements are in units synthesis. Convenience in the synthesis process, overclocking synthesized parts, firmware modification, etc. However, I can make up for the dial's lagging synthesis performance purely with a touch of my fingertips. It's actually kind of impressive. Crucially, if I upgrade to a newer generation, why, is there an extra subscription fee? There would be no point in having registered the business as a dialogue. As dialogue. You don't seem to get it. A little wit breathes vitality into very life, and also seeing the strangely named repair clinic operating normally, I guess your skills really aren't questionable. Then it should be a breeze if I suddenly test you with a standard D1AL practical level 1 mock maintenance, right? Practice repair. Prove Michelle wrong about your skills. I already know all this. Let's play the tutorial. Also, accept request. You can check the damage spot on the dial that currently needs repair. However, hover over a damaged spot to show the required unit. Click the red button. First, let's select the damaged spot to fix. Dial consists of 4 layers and 6 indices. Each module can be dragged to swap places with an adjacent module. Aligning 3 or more modules in a row. Was ist denn hier eine Row? Nebeneinander? Synthesizes a higher tier unit. Moving modules uses dial battery. If battery is empty, you cannot move. Right click to cancel the move. The battery recovers upon complete cancel. Try moving modules to synthesize a higher tier unit. Like this. Okay. Continuous synthesis overcharges the battery. When charged enough, battery capacity increases. Check the current damage spot and required units on the right panel. Click info panel. Hover over the damage spot to check the required unit. Synthesize required unit and move to the damage spot. Also an die Stelle muss so ein Ding hin. Okay, das heißt so. Fast. Like this. Genau. Placing the required unit in the spot activates the swap button. Press it to swap. The swap went well without issues. Alright, okay, machen wir einfach nochmal. Okay, jetzt machen wir 3 nebeneinander. This time the units needing replacement are attached consecutively. Placing units like that inside the higher tier unit. In this case, we must swap units one by one. You can repair using higher tier units, so it's okay if you synthesize by mistake. Oh ja, das ist ja dreimal das gleiche und die sind nebeneinander. Müssen die sich ja nicht so auch wieder verbinden? Now let's swap the required modules. Okay, weil jetzt muss ich ja nur hier eins hinkriegen. Like this. Genau, jetzt brauche ich neue. Kinda like this. Oh, ups, hier oben. No. Like this? Ach, jetzt in die Mitte. Okay. Now is the final damage spot. The last spot requires a high grade unit. Let's use dial specials function this time. There's a gauge bar at the bottom left of the dial. This charges the specific type gauge when 4 more modules are synthesized. Click the charged gauge, then a module to convert its type. If you make a mistake or feel stuck, press the restart button to try again. Click restart button to process. Okay, use the gauge to repair. Das upgraden. Nicht? Das upgrade? Backlog. B, Backlog? Also ändert man die Farbe. Weil das hier rot ist, werden die rot oder was? mache ich das denn am besten? Oh, wait, I get it. Or do I? Das hat meine ganze Energy gedraint. Ah, okay. Kann ich dich hier hinbringen? Aber dann verschiebst du alles. Okay, wait. Okay. Wie kriege ich da jetzt am besten... Ich mache dich dahin und dich dahin. Dann vermischt ihr euch, genau. Der Rest ist egal. Oh, ich könnte das hier jetzt rot machen, ne? Genau, und dann schiebe ich dich einfach hier hin und dann bin ich fertig. Okay. Complete dial tutorial, receive a good evaluation for the repair result. Okay. Satisfied now? That's really amazing. Honestly, I knew you ran a repair clinic, but I didn't know you were this skilled. Even with the latest D5AL equipment, it wouldn't be this fast for level 1 mock maintenance. I see you in a new light. This is nothing. If I want to attract EVE customers to this strangely named repair clinic of yours, I can't tolerate a single maintenance error of yours. First impressions are most important wherever you go. If you care so much about first impressions, why don't you erase that suspicious slogan on the front door? Besides, there needs to be comfort during the repair process for them to feel emotionally stable and open up. I just can't understand that creepy philosophy of yours. I should probably start opening up shop now. Okay, talk to you later. Das macht ja auch keinen Sinn. Die Übersetzung ist ein bisschen weg. Aber wieso sagt Michelle, das sollte Michelle davon abhalten? Ich heiße doch Chris, oder nicht? Aber Repair Time war ein bisschen safe, sure. Das ist halt so echt, aber das ist aber ultra wie Valhalla. Die Menüs sehen so aus. Chris, bin ich ja. Welcome, this is the Repair Clinic Dialogue. Hey Chris. Pray. What brings you here at this hour? What about your cafe shift? Are you watching the popular show airing these days? Buff Girl O'Hara? Hat man nicht mehr diesen Zwischenshit in der Wohnung, wenn das ja jetzt auch hier ist? Zeig mal. Exclusive, unidentified component found. Nano catalyst design mismatch controversy. Controversy is erupting after an unidentified molecular component not listed in official blueprints was discovered in the nano catalysts mandatorily inoculated into Chroma City citizens. In addition to identification and data collection, nanocatalysts perform the core function of forcibly inducing serotonin secretion in reaction to neon shine to prevent LDS, light deficiency syndrome, caused by sunlight deprivation. Precise molecular analysis of recently extracted nanocatalyst samples confirmed the presence of an unidentified element non-existent in the standard specifications released by authorities. While Chroma City authorities maintain it is merely an impurity generated during catalyst aging, their passive response, failing to provide technical evidence to support this claim, is only amplifying suspicions. Okay. A new dawn for EVE maintenance. D6AL unveiled fully automated process. Last night, the 13th, Sunshine Core unveiled the D6AL, the 6th generation architecture diagnostic lens that moves away from traditional manual mechanic work to fully automate the maintenance process. This new product eliminates cumbersome manual synthesis and part replacement. It features proprietary real-time autonomous calibration technology that minimizes human intervention, maximizing system precision and maintenance efficiency. Sunshine Core stated that introducing the D6AL will replace outdated, imperfect maintenance methods and enable immediate data-driven system recovery and optimization. Scheiß AI. Buffgirl Ohara type peaks neural network unit or hasm buff released. Wow. The hit series Buffgirl Ohara, currently ranking first in streaming charts and real-time interest, is reaching peak hype ahead of its finale. It's finale, I don't know, February 3rd. Capitalizing on the show's success, the distributor unveiled the collaboration custom unit or hasm buff, set for official release on February 4th, the day after the finale. I don't know. The hasm buff draws attention with the design inspired by Ohara's champion belt. Notably, it replaces traditional manual operation with an automated sympathetic nerve stimulant function via a feedback loop. The product features forced photonic neural network update technology to control system overhead caused by continuous sympathetic. What the fuck? Okay, are you watching the show? Soweit waren wir. Gibt's hier noch was? Options, Storage, Message, Music Player. What are you talking about all of a sudden? Are you watching it? I do watch it every week, but then this will be quick. In yesterday's episode, do you remember the scene where Ohara smashed Mrs. Blind with the magical pile driver? Ohara rarely gets pushed into a corner, so seeing her fight back with a double nosebleed and crush Blind's neck for a comeback was quite a twist in many ways. That's exactly it. What exactly is it? Is it? What exactly are you trying to say? A villain showed up at our shop and they look like they desperately need that pile driver. I knew you'd understand. I only understood that you have a difficult customer. Could you speak a little more clearly? They say he's a bigwig from Sunshine Core. He claims his mere visit is a favor to this crappy shop and threatened that he could turn off all the neon shines in the district with a single word. A different routine every day. I envy how today is unlike yesterday. Shut up. Anyway, thanks to that big shot, it's been nothing but new stability officer faces all morning. Those guys are hard to find when you actually need them, but they swarm like rats for this. I thought there was a terrorist attack or something. So that's what happened. What brings such a person to a backwater like this? Oh, das ist sogar fucking Valhalla-Ding hier. Das ist wild. I don't know the details, but it seems he came to negotiate with the manager of this commercial district. Something about increasing Neon Shine subscription fees around here starting next month and removing the free Neon Shine streetlights. Controlling the light, his actions are just like Mrs. Blind. See why I brought up Buffgirl? If Mrs. Blind has appeared in reality, then a magical pile driver isn't out of the question either. Can you go and try it? It's way out of my expertise and job description, but I can mimic it. I knew it. I wanted to pour coffee on his face, but now I feel a bit better. Right, and if you're really going to try it, be careful. The security's intense. You could get arrested just for keeping your hands in your pockets. Then again, today, my secret power will remain hidden. Anyway, raising subscription fees is a pretty big deal. I was thinking of subscribing to a hologram figure for my lonely room. But with the increased fees, it will be tight. Same here. Really? EVEs are relatively free from LDEs. So do you really need to subscribe to Neon Shine? It's only relatively free. If our condition worsens, data loss occurs. And we could have problems more serious than humans. Plus, I've got someone to look after. You mean Remy? Remy is family. It's a cat. Does being a cat mean it can't be family? You'd better watch your words in front of our Remy. gray shorter claws, adopting an aggressive cat-like stance. Please forgive me. I'll make an exception this time, because I'm generous. Anyway, if the subscription fee goes up, I'll have to give up on the item I was planning to buy, what we were thinking of getting. Buffcur collaboration merch. They're doing a collaboration with a neural stimulation unit for EVEs. They announced that pre-orders will start on the day the last episode airs. The things people come up with. What do you mean the things they come up with? This collaboration product is amazing. They said when the empathy unit activates and overloads, it shakes your cognitive abilities, creating the illusion of transforming. It's basically another way of saying, you must buy this. What on earth does that mean? And aren't the expressions shakes cognitive abilities and illusion of transforming seriously suspicious? You're making a fuss over nothing. Besides, considering the ships you usually use, I don't think you're in a position to talk. What do you say? Those are legitimately released VR chips, you know? I didn't even put them there for you to see, you just looked at them on your own. I have no intention of respecting your tastes, but if I may give you a piece of personal advice, in a repair clinic where EVEs are the main customers, displaying chips with covers showing EVEs and humans getting intimate doesn't seem like a very good choice. I just put frequently used items where they're easy to see. It's inevitable in a workshop with lots of tools. I feel like I just heard some terrible information. If you're lonely, why don't you find a lover? I'm sorry, but... Okay, I'm sorry. Pray apologize quickly. It was as if she didn't want to hear it. Did she foresee what I was going to say? And can I ask for a simple repair? I need to create an excuse to tell the boss. Sure, repairs are always welcome. Okay, dann lese ich die optionalen Sachen hier, wenn kurz vor dem Ding. Ey, yo. Hier muss ein rotes abgegradet sein und hier. You idiot, be gentle. Okay, chill. Ich habe noch gar nichts gemacht. Man kann die nicht so machen, ne? Obwohl, das ist ja auch eine Row. Zählt das? Mal gucken. Okay, es geht auch. Das heißt, das ist schon mal richtig. Okay, das hat ihr das gleiche nochmal. Dann geht das hier und dann sind wir fertig. Yes. Don't you think the name Neon Shine is super tacky? Like a middle-aged man trying to look cool. I agree with that part. It sounds like a name where they changed one syllable from neon sign and celebrated themselves for being extremely witty. It's really a comedy that the person agreeing with that has a repair clinic with the name just as bad. Zack, haben wir das auch fertig? What exactly does the stimulation from the empathy unit feel like? I only learned about it in theory, but I was curious since I never felt it myself. It's similar to humans. If humans feel it through muscle contraction, blood flow changes and hormone secretion, for EVEs they're just replaced by the empathy unit. Stimulating this directly gives a quite pleasurable feeling. So, is it like an orgasm? It doesn't match exactly, but it's probably the closest thing. Then what about the collaboration merch you mentioned earlier? I was just curious about what it feels like to transform. They say power surges through you. Sure, whatever. Müssen das rote sein? Die man da hinmacht, oder kann das jede Farbe sein? Was ist, wenn ich jetzt gelb hier hin? Ne, okay, es muss rot sein. Und wie kriegt man die Sachen hier? Muss man dafür viel Batterie benutzen? Ah ja, da steht, wenn man benutzt, dann geht das hoch und das geht dann hier rein. Okay. Es ging ja. Ach Keine Ahnung, I don't get it. Du gehst dahin und dann bin ich fertig. Ah, okay. Completed Prey's first request. All done, there were no major issues. Wow, my stiff back feels completely refreshed. Is this what it feels like when Ohara purifies their body with brief seed? Is it okay? Huh? Is it okay to mention my crude repair in the same breath as something so noble? Crude? You're too strict with yourself. No one around here can match your skills. Enough, Prey. Save that talk for after you buy me a beer. You make a fuss even when I compliment you. What a personality. I noticed earlier your power unit was screaming again. Aren't you overworking yourself lately? It must be because a lot of zombies have been gathering in front of the shop lately. They've practically set up camp there. Zombies? You mean flicker patients high on drugs? Usually they just stumble around spouting nonsense. No, those are blackouts. It's a state where even radical methods like electronic drugs can't prevent damage to the frontal lobe and neural network. You can consider their ego and personality data virtually destroyed. Lately, the media seems to just call them zombies instead of severe LDS patients. I've been here for a while, but I just thought they were drug addicts. Drug addicts are probably better off than them. Aren't they both equally in the gutter? At least junkies have the infinite love for drugs left. Blackouts are worse. Infinite love? Seeing them throw away family, lovers, property without hesitation, isn't that the perfect expression? It's like if it's not you, the world doesn't matter. Truly an impossible devotion. In contrast, blackouts are like empty shells with even their desires gone. Ich zieh mir mal die Brille an. Vielleicht lese ich dann besser. They wander around. Man kann bei mir. Warte mal, das ist ganz schön uncool, sehe ich gerade. Ja, hier in der Ecke ist nichts Wichtiges. They wander around following the light by instinct. And when they find neon shine, they swarm like gnats and won't leave. Chasing light suggests they still have at least minimal desires left. If you saw them, you'd think I'm exactly right. They aren't moving to find light. Kann man hier im Hintergrund irgendwas anklicken? Ne. They aren't using to find light. It's just that the only stimulus left that they can react to. If they crawled around looking for light normally, maybe you'd be right. Of course, they would become something even more terrible. As I recall, the shop you work for has a floor-to-ceiling glass window on one side. Right, and clearing away the nets that gather there is one of my daily tasks. That's probably the cause of 80% of my power unit overloads. The other 20% is because of the idiot maroon streetlights? Exactly. Every day must be tough. It gives me a headache just thinking about how much tougher it is to get, going to get. You know that? Happiness and unhappiness are influenced more by future events than the present. Wasn't that a study on human psychology? Humans in EVEs are pretty much the same. Do you realize that statement conflicts heavily with your critique of my tastes before the repair? I come back because I respect it. Oho. My head feels like exploding as it is. Do you have to make me say useless things? If you plan to keep wrecking me to rip off repair fees, you better be prepared. I'm sorry, customer Prey Emery. Achso, so heißt sie, Prey Emery. Stop joking. I have to go now. Even a justified absence is a problem if it drags on. I don't want to get fired and become a zombie rubbing my face against a glass window. By now the streetlight idiot should have left the shop too. You're sharp, good sense as always. It was a pleasant conversation today, Prey. Me too, see you later, Chris. Prey hurriedly left the door with quick steps. It seems she spent more time than expected, distracted by the chat. It's already time for lunch, let's take a break. Oh, seriously amazing. What did you just do to my back? It feels light as a feather. Safe. Also das ist das nächste Chapter. Nächste Chapter ist Orca. An EVE stood before me, though there was no sound of the door opening. Despite her polite attitude and likable first impression, I couldn't quite feel at ease. All TNDLS models are government-affiliated EVEs, usually distinguishable by the department mark. But I couldn't see any mark on the EVE before me, nor was there any other way to confirm her affiliation. Of course, nothing official in Chroma City was particularly trustworthy, but it reacted unusually sensitive to that mark. Welches das hier? Das hier? Probably das hier, ne? Prey says I look at that mark with eyes of a sinner, which probably isn't polite behavior towards a customer. Before we start, excuse me, but may I ask what specific purpose you are specialized for? If it's military, private maintenance is illegal. Ah, you wouldn't know since I'm not wearing protective gear on my day off. I'm Orca O. O'Hara from the Urban Recovery Agency of Chroma City. You could just call me Orca for short. Although designed for rescue and disaster recovery operations, I'm a model equipped with multi-purpose functions like other EVEs to reduce citizens' aversion. Rescue. You have quite an ordinary appearance for someone deployed to rough sites. Holy fuck, Alter, das geht voll auf den Hals. In fact, it wasn't an ordinary appearance. Rescue specialized TNDLS models possessed an appearance generally considered... Der Song ist ganz schön laut. Generally considered beautiful to reduce aversion. That's because we mostly rely on external equipment. The design direction of the model also has the motto Universal Fit. Unlike how it looks, there are many places to attach external equipment. This is for attaching the powered exoskeleton during entry. This is for the instantaneous thrust engine and the tail part. It was quite embarrassing to watch her lift parts of her body here and there to introduce her model. But Orca seemed unaware of it and chattered excitedly for several minutes. How is it? Understand very well that it's not military. Besides that? Nothing. I was just trying to apologize for being rude earlier out of surprise. Of course, that wasn't it. Really? I didn't feel it. I didn't feel it was that rude. I didn't feel it was that rude? Okay. That's because kind people are rare towards government-affiliated EVEs. If you thought I was similar to others, then that's normal. That makes sense. What kind of maintenance are you here for? I was recently assigned here, so I need to submit an inspection confirmation by tomorrow. There aren't any major problems, so it shouldn't take long. It looks that way, but you never know until you check. I'll boot up the maintenance console, so please wait a moment. Perhaps because everyone is preparing for Polar Night Day, the streets are intensely lively, aren't they? Polar Night Day, one of Chroma City's prides, and the pride of prides. A holiday unique to the city and a festival ground. I had even forgotten that it wasn't far off. It's a holiday unique to the city. Did you come for sightseeing before? You don't have to say it if it's hard to talk about. No. A few years ago I visited Chroma City due to a support request. It just happened to be Polar Night Day. There was a support request even to nearby cities? Yes, back then I was working in Luminance City, located below Chroma City. It was complete chaos. The violence and confusion amidst the cheers of the festival were shocking even to me. A hologram panorama covering the sky, and below it explosions mixed with smoke. Must have been terrible. Yes, screams mixed with beautiful night views and hopeful musics are quite shocking. The show went on as if indifferent to the tragedy. And most of the crowd was too intoxicated by the festival to even know what was happening. The organizers, who knew about the accident, went along with it too. It was probably because of the budget. The hologram panorama, called Chromatic Zenith, is one of Chroma City's prides. They say it's for the citizens' sense of belonging, but they pour an astronomical budget into it because it's an event that generates huge tourism revenue. Too much money had already been poured into cancel just because an accident occurred. So it's about money. It's always about money. Excluding talk of budget and compensation, all that's left in Chroma are patience. Not that I like it, but it's the unavoidable reality. That's sad. I'm sorry, I unintentionally said something depressing. It's just reality. Nothing is as boring as realistic talk. Living day by day, whether you like it or not, is reality. Even an interesting show gets boring if you watch it hundreds of times. So it's hard for the story of a day repeated thousands of times to be interesting. It's natural to be drawn to stories of vacation escapades or figures bought on impulse, rather than talk of neon shine subscription fees or utility bills. I can't accept it rationally, but I have to emphasize most hobbies are, after all, escapes from ordinary daily life. That's why people go crazy for Polar Night Day. And tourists visiting from the other side of the globe to see the chromatic zenith. Because the coming tomorrow isn't enjoyable. Because they're tired of reality. Die Übersetzung ist ein bisschen wack, ne? Aber man versteht wenigstens halbwegs, was es ist. They close their eyes and ears and force themselves to shout that they are happy now. Wanting to run away from pain is one of the human instincts. Oops, I sounded creaky like my dial equipment again. 0 points for sales pitch, right? Sometimes creaking sounds make you feel alive, whether machine or human. But by any chance, are you doing maintenance with a first generation dial? Don't worry too much. I've safely repaired TNDLS models several times with this rugged friend. Why does the word safely sound so scary? Oh, the dial is ready. Shall we begin? Oh, yeah, let's go. Nix Neues hier? Okay, weiter. Ey, yo! Ah, die baut gelb. Okay. This kind of maintenance is my first AO. It's always about money. Yeah, hi Sean, how's it going? It's always about money. Oh, I need more yellow. Am besten irgendwie eine... Ah, hier kriege ich mehrere Sachen rein, ja. Nice, perfekt. Mache ich das hier hin? Okay, das kommt dahin und das kommt dahin. Gib ihm. Ah, damit kann ich Sachen blau machen und damit kann ich nicht sagen. Ah, okay. Oh. Okay. Ich sollte mir vorher angucken. Nico, bin okay, just tired after 24-hour shift. Sean, what the fuck? It was a last minute decision and no replacement available, so I had to replace my partner yesterday. I mean, you shouldn't have 24 hours rest after that. You should have 24 hours, should be the minimum after that. Zack. So, das muss hier hin. Ja, und hier muss ein kleiner hin. Das ist hier. Okay. I've completed the unit replacement for that part. How is it? Please feel free to tell me if there's any discomfort or awkwardness. No, it's much more comfortable than I thought. My worries before the maintenance were pointless. It actually feels smoother than the 5th generation dial. That's a relief. But should I say it tingles? It keeps throbbing. Oh. Please be a little gentler. This area is densely packed with neural elements. It's very sensitive. Oh dear, I'm clumsy because it's been a while since I maintained the TNDLS. I try to be as gentle as possible. Yes, thankfully that guy came this morning, otherwise I had to go. What happens if you don't go to work? Like, did he have at least a good reason? Brauche ich 3, damit ich ein... Okay, ich muss einmal 3 haben. Und das ist random, was ich davon bekomme, oder was? Ich habe fast nichts. Ich brauche more yellow stuff. Okay, that's fine. Is it? Oh, die werden ja jetzt zusammen gemacht, ne? Das ist ja auch total der Scheiß. Ich mache dich dahin, dich dahin, dich dahin und dann mache ich dich zu einem gelben. Yes. Each TNDLS model had one unique organ, right? That's right, because each model specializes in a different purpose. I've often seen animal ears or reverse joint types, but this is my first time seeing a tail. The EVEs of the Scarlet Response Unit under the Urban Recovery Agency, to which I belong, are all TNDLS models. And we have tails like me. That's fascinating. Usually, what is this tail used for? In our case, we mainly use it to clear broken debris, or break down walls to enter. For something used for such rough procedures, didn't you say it was a sensitive part earlier? The external armor is high-strength special alloy, so it's fine in the field. But when opened internally for maintenance, it's almost defenseless. I'm sorry, I'll be more careful to work delicately. He got sick today, he's okay. Okay, how have you been? I'm doing fine. How about you? Except for working all the fucking time. Nein, nicht nach unten schieben. Holy. Okay. Completed Orca's first request. As you said, it was a regular checkup. There were no major problems, so I finished quickly. I mean, 24-hour shifts. I mean, there's nothing to get over. There shouldn't be 24-hour shifts. For your job is not that important. Yeah, you're not a doctor or something. Holy fuck. And there were no major problems, so I finished quickly. Oh, that unknown heavy feeling that was dragging me down has disappeared. No, it's more than that, it's refreshing. Manager, you have quite an interested look on your face right now. Orca's reaction was so vivid that I focused without realizing it. I'm glad you're satisfied. I should be thanking you. It feels similar to that unique sensation when speeding through the city center on a bike. Roaming Chroma City while feeling the wind directly. You have a bolder hobby than I thought. Yeah. Yes, in Luminant City, my hobby was riding a bike to get some air on my days off. I don't have a car in the first place, and I like bikes. And I prefer the openness of a bike to the enclosed space of a car. That peculiar stimulation where the gaze of others mixes into the liberating feeling of being open on all sides. It feels really good. Every hobby has its own taste. I apologize for the roughness during the maintenance. And no. It's just because I'm particularly sensitive compared to the same model. Because you kept talking to me in between, I felt reassured at the end and it didn't hurt at all. And my body feels completely lighter too. Yeah, I can endure this much for this level of effect. Die Übersetzung ist ein bisschen mehr, aber ansonsten. Orca started stretching her body here and there as if to show off. A careless EVE in a narrow space. As long as she doesn't bump into anything, it's not a bad view. Actually, I didn't do much. I just replaced a few neural units to suit the environment lacking photonic data. You mean because there's a lack of light? Exactly. Both humans and EVEs cannot live without sunlight. That's why subscribing to neon shine is practically essential in Chroma City. So that's why my colleagues ask if I subscribe to neon shine. Because unless it's chroma, you won't have problems due to lack of light. They made survival a paid service. Chroma claims it's the same logic as food being paid. Someday we might even get built for breathing. Still, EVEs are a bit better off. Humans can fall into depression if neon shine is cut off for just 2 days. They called it LDS, right? Right, it stands for Light Deficiency Syndrome. Simply put, it's a disease caused by not receiving light. The body signaling system gets tangled, and for EVEs, noise accumulates in the photonic neural network. My bro just bought a new car for our family. Nice. The depression and power drop you felt recently are probably due to this. My external equipment felt heavier than usual after coming to the city. It wasn't just my imagination. Body and mind are inseparable. Psychology inevitably changes according to the state of the body. It's funny for me in EVE to say this, but that's very mechanical. I think so too. But humans are similar, just different between metal and flesh. Most psychiatric drugs treat psychological problems by regulating hormones, and the medical measure called defibrillation is basically the same principle as rebooting a machine called a human. Moving by electrical signals and psychological and emotional judgments changing according to the hardware environment are also the same. Personally, I don't see any reason to distinguish between humans and EVEs. If that philosophy created this repair shop, it's quite cool. Personal conversation is the core service of D1AL-ogue. Anyway, you said today was your day off, right? That's right. I've been hectic with moving and dispatch calls for a few days, but finally it's a break. Actually, if there are no dispatches, it's mostly playtime. Moving alone sounds terrible. I agree with that, but it's over. Do you have any recommended places for a change of mood? I recommend the cafe on the first floor of the building opposite. Ah, I saw it coming here. The name started with Re. You mean Retrojan? Retro... What is it? Retrojan. The pronunciation is a bit odd. Ja, wie wird das denn ausgesprochen? Retrojan. Retrojan. Oh, Retrojan. The pronunciation is a bit off. Retrojan. Is it the Trojan from the Trojan horse? It's as unusual a name as this place. Right, I heard from the owner that it's a combination of retro and Trojan virus. It contains the ambition to infiltrate retro trends like a Trojan virus into this flashy high-tech city. Wow, hearing that, the meaning sounds quite plausible. It's a retro concept cafe that's hard to find these days. And drinking the owner's hand-drip coffee is the joy of my life. A retro concept in this city, interesting. And one more thing, avoid places with too many people. In this season, scenes of people densely gathered often lead to scenes of being taken away by stability officers. Thanks for the advice, Chris. When the night gets too long, people tend to get sensitive, even if they're stability officers. Thinking of the city stability officers like police in other cities is troublesome. Still, there's no harm in being careful. I should quietly enjoy this festive year-end atmosphere by myself. Have a good time, Orca. Thank you, see you next time. It's already evening, I should call it a day. Is it already done? Oh my, your touch was so delicate, I didn't even realize I was being repaired. Next. Ja, es gibt hier nicht diese Wohnungssektion, es geht direkt weiter. Okay. Mal trinken wieder. Polar Night Day Intensive Crackdown Period announcement. This is an announcement from the Urban Stability Agency USA. In celebration of Polar Night Day, Chroma City's largest festival, a special intensive crackdown period will be in effect from today until the end of the festival. This measure aims to prevent social disorder during the festival and maintain the homeostasis of the urban system. During this period, nanocatalyst scanning by stabilizers will be significantly intensified across Chroma City. In particular, illegal procedures under the guise of LDS prevention and the use of distribution of unauthorized private neon shines are strictly prohibited. Citizens are requested to fully cooperate with scanning procedures at temporary checkpoints installed in each district. Warning: any act of detrimental to the stability of the urban system will be subject to immediate administrative action without exception. Sounds like fucking ice. Holy. Natural LDS confirmed impossible. Suspicion of nanocatalyst intervention. Medical opinions suggest that Chroma City's light deficiency syndrome, LDS, may not be a naturally occurring disease, are causing a stir. Following consultation with specialists from external cities, an analysis indicates that simple lack of light cannot cause irreversible nervous system damage. The severe stage of LDS given human physiology. Experts pointed out that while stage 1, dimming, lethargy due to serotonin deficiency is possible, stage 2, flicker, cognitive impairment, and stage 3, blackout, frontal lobe shutdown, fall outside the scope of general neurological disorders. Consequently, suspicions are deepening that the unidentified molecular components in nanocatalysts mentioned in previous reports are intentionally accumulating metabolic waste in the cerebrum to artificially induce LDS. Mayor Lucas, EVE are partners sharing souls. Sigmund Pact 50th anniversary speech. Yesterday afternoon, 14th, the 50th anniversary ceremony of the Sigmund Pact, symbolizing the harmony between humanity and artificial intelligence, was held at Chroma City Central Plaza. Taking the podium, Mayor Lucas reflected on the significance of the pact, calling it a historical turning point where simple computational devices known as EEs, electronic entity, evolved into EVEs, electronic vital entity, through photonic neural networks, becoming recognized as beings with independent personality. He emphasized that EVEs, having moved past an era of discrimination to guaranteed legal rights, are key citizens supporting the eternal night of this city alongside humans. He concluded this message, hoping that through the rational coexistence perfected by Sunshine Core's technology, the next 50 years will also lead to an era of prosperity without discrimination, drawing cheers from the citizens and EVEs gathered in the plaza. Okay. Ne, hier kann man nichts klicken. It's dark and gloomy all day again today. Now that there's hardly any day left, it's hard to even see a grey night. Thanks to that, my body feels even stiffer. If I stay still, I'll only feel more drained, so let's hurry and open up shop. Ach, es gibt hier auch... Das wäre eine Downtime jetzt gewesen. Okay. Ja, open up shop, let's go. Are mom and dad saying they won't come to see the chromatic zenith again this year? Just like every year, yeah. What about you? Needless to say, me neither. I really don't get why no one goes. When we were kids, they used to drag us there every year, even when we said we didn't want to go. You know how many years ago that was. Mom and dad are getting old now, so it's hard for them to go to crowded and chaotic places. I'm too far away to go, so... If you want to go that badly, why not go with a girlfriend? You're picking a fight with me right now, aren't you? Look at your age, go outside and meet people. Even better if it's a woman. You can't stay up all night in your room drinking beer forever. The day I fall asleep rolling around in bed with a woman in this city, there's a high chance I won't open my eyes ever again the next day. and an article will pop up on the main news page. Victim Chris J. Hayes, 22, found in a motel with organs harvested. That confidence of yours is the problem, Chris. It's disgusting to say it myself, but objectively, you're decent looking. Bleh. Let's stop. So if you want to see the chromatic zenith that much, just go alone. If I have to go alone, I won't go. Shouldn't I at least have someone to take my side if I get into a fight? Then what are you going to do that day? I have no choice but to drown my polar night day in beer while watching Dokim's stream again this year. That's how I spent my polar night day. Stream my foot. You're planning to stay up all night with your beloved silicone, aren't you? Hey, how did you... Wait, you've never even been in my room. Hit the nail on the head. No, it's not that. Shut up. You're single too, probably sitting in the corner of your room alone. Hello, Chris. You look excited. Did you manage to get that figure you wanted? Chris? Ah, Miss Leanne, I'm sorry. I was looking at something else. Could you wait just a moment? A pity. What? Ach, hier. Okay, das ist aber sonst nichts. I want to share in your joy. You look good now, but the expression you had just now, which you don't show when you're with me, had a pure smile. I'm envious, whoever they are. Haha, it's my younger sister. She's a funny kid who tries to tear me down every day. Ah, the one you often talk about? Miss Leanne took a deep breath and muttered quietly to herself. Well, if it's a younger sister, I can understand. In fact, I might even have to try to get close to her. Anyway, what brings you here today? I remember you had your regular checkup recently. I had some business nearby, so I thought I'd drop by to see your face. I also stopped by because I thought I might need to replace my processing unit as a bonus. That's funny. What is? When I first saw you, I thought you'd never come back. But now you visit even without a reason. I told you I came to replace my processing unit. You said it was a bonus. Didn't you come to check on me? If not, I'll take a look at you quickly. Alright, you win. I came here to complain. Okay, tell me. For a ridiculously shady repair clinic? Yet you've come back several times, so you must like it. There's a quite uncrowded comfort here. A quiet place and slightly cool air are good for getting sentimental. Thanks to that, I can completely let loose. Are you complimenting me by saying there are no customers? Yes, it's a compliment. Since you say so, I take it as a compliment. What's today's complaint? Miss Leanne frowned, as if just thinking about it was unpleasant. That's quite a look on your face. Huh? Oh, was I? Sorry, when the processing unit connected to emotional expression gets overloaded, my mood swings become severe and I can't hide them. I don't want to show that expression anymore. Can I get maintenance first? It's possible, but... Leanne's request, repair Leanne with extreme mood swings. Schon wieder direkt neues Wasser. So viel wie man hier jebt. Okay, let's repair Leanne. Ey, yo! Ah, man kann vorher gucken, was man braucht. Und dann kann man sich quasi... Yeah, I'm drinking all the time because I feel that I need to drink. I suspected you're delicate. It's so relaxing. Ah, man kriegt das, wenn man... Okay, man kriegt das, wenn man Sachen zusammenbaut. Was passiert denn, wenn man 4 hat? Dann werden die auch zusammen, okay. Machen wir das hier. Das war doof. Ich weiß halt nicht, ob das irgendwie was bringt, ob man mehr oder weniger moved. Du musst dahin. Du musst dahin. Und du musst dahin. Ach, das muss ein großer werden. Fuck me. Okay. Every time I visit here, you're on the phone with your sister. It's my routine right after opening for business. Picking a fight with my sister. I'd like to join that routine next time. You, Miss Leanne. I heard that in human society, it's polite to greet the other person's family before the main event. I don't know what big event you mean. But your emotion unit is overheating again. Big event? Ich muss irgendwie die Kombos hinkriegen. Oh, hier muss man wieder einen großen haben. Das ist so ein Scheiß. Oder kann man die irgendwie davon abhalten, dass sie fusen? Ah, man kann einen reinmachen. Ah, okay. Nevermind. Man kann einen schon mal reinmachen. Ah, okay. Falsche Richtung. Okay, what do you think about the increased romance between humans and EVEs? For someone who's never even been in a relationship with a human, that's too abstract a question for me to answer. Really? Just that one word from you has completely tilted my opinion of the pro side. Miss Leanne, the temperature of your emotion unit is rising. It's dangerous, so please come down to your maintenance. Welcher ist der hier? Der große? Der oben. Das muss der große werden. Machen wir das, damit ich Platz kriege. Das. Das again. Nein, so weit. Ich kann einen zu gelb machen, aber zu gelb will ich keinen machen. Ich kann das hier zu gelb machen, I guess. Ja, dann kriege ich viel mehr Juice. Okay, jetzt kann ich einen blau machen. Dann mache ich den hier blau. Dann mache ich den... Nein! Fuck me. Du kannst dahin. Du kommst hier hin. Und du kommst hier hin. Okay. Complete Leanne's first request. The maintenance is done without any problems. Your maintenance today was exceptionally smooth. The touch of yours skillfully delving into my secret corners, leading me without giving me a chance to resist. Whose core other than mine have you caressed with such care? Miss Leanne? The customers who visit this repair clinic are the entirety of my social interactions. But it's a blessing in disguise. What is? Thanks to a wonderful person like you visiting, it feels like even this bleak place has some life in it. Oh my, saying something like that so suddenly makes me a little shy. The overload on your processing unit was more severe than I thought. You came to complain, but it was to the point of needing repairs. I thought it would get better once I relieved some stress. If I left the unit as it was, I figured I'd be seeing you soon for the same repair request, so I placed it with a higher end unit. It hasn't been long since your last checkup. What happened to damage it so much? Hold on, that's what I'm about to tell you. You know I work at the pharmaceutical company, right? Of course. I've heard a lot about your life, Miss Leanne, every time I do repairs. A new researcher joined the company recently. They say he's incredibly talented or something. Our company went a great length to scout him, so I guess that could be true. The problem is that talent isn't everything. Exactly. He came in through connections, yet he has this attitude of looking down on the existing researchers. Since he joined later, he thinks it's our duty to provide him with any project information he doesn't know. The management is completely impressed with his papers and research achievements, so my colleagues and I had no choice but to do as he asked. More work for you. That would have been a relief. The problem is his attitude. If he were apologetic and grateful, it would be different, but he takes it for granted. Even though we're doing work we don't have to do. I wonder if studying so much has fried part of his brain. A while ago, he said a colleague's research looked interesting and asked if he could take over the project. It almost turned into a shouting match, but our colleagues intervened and barely mediated. It's annoying, but thanks to him, we're free from the management's nagging. And we can buy time to improve the product stability. Office politics. It feels a bit distant to me. Maybe for you. From my perspective, Miss Leanne, you don't seem much different from me. Aren't you talking about how hard it is to deal with office politics you don't even care about? I'd like to say no, but I have to agree because of what happened a few days ago. A few days ago? Yes, half of my unit's overload problems probably started that day. We fought. You fought? It wasn't really a fight. I just laid him out. He disrespected our project, said we were just wasting the budget by repeating clinical trials for years. He said the researchers' talents were being wasted, and asked if he had any intentions of finishing this research and starting a more promising project. And he said it to my face, the project leader. I should have realized when the management was blindly pushing for him. They couldn't win against us in the logical argument as non-experts, so it was a ploy to bring in another expert to break our resolve. That's pretty serious sabotage. Unfortunately for them, that Nepo hire's social skills were worse than imaginable. Was? Were worse than imaginable, and he failed to change the team members' minds. You could even say we've grown closer. Some team members were even cheering me on and comforting me, even though I threw the first punch. Ich dachte, es war kein fight. Of course, I think I was in the wrong too. My feelings were complicated watching him call an ambulance by himself because no one else cared. It must have been the guilt that followed the satisfaction. I had to write an apology letter, and the project's chances of survival dropped even lower. I wondered what would have happened if I had just held it in. There's a mountain of work to do, but the thought of running away came first. I want to forget everything. Let's just rest. So I came to see you. All I do is listen to you talk a little. That's enough. And thanks to you, I've already sorted out my thoughts. Thanks to me. A place to hide whenever I want to run away. A way to regain some energy and find the courage to face the world again. That's the goal of our project. After running away here to rest, I found the courage to push through, and it made me feel that my project shouldn't end here. If the effect of just listening to a story, as you put it, is this great, our medicine will be a great help for to the world. Can I ask what kind of medicine it is? I'd love to tell you. Miss Leanne's eyes sparkled as a favorite topic had come up. It's a relief to see her back to her usual self. Our research institute mainly focuses on drugs that suppress memory. It prevents the user from recalling specific memories. The primary goal is trauma suppression, so there's potential for misuse. It seems so. Right, that's why we're delaying its release. A similar drug already exists, but there are more cases of side effects or misuse than proper use. Although the management recognizes this as commercial success, sticking to a proven product. Exactly. He made almost the same argument. His logic is that as long as it passes safety inspections and sells well, who cares how it's used? In reality, it causes almost no physical harm to the body itself. I take a few pills myself, but that attitude is quite off-putting. No matter how well you know it, there's a limit to what a general buyer, not an expert, can know. In fact, I don't even know the ingredients of the multivitamin I take. Since I hardly see the sun, I guess it must contain vitamin D. And vitamin D. I have no idea. The drugs available on the market dull memories that are dramatically imprinted on the user. When you try to recall them, the recollection process is interrupted or blunted. It's similar to when you tamper with an EVE's photonic neural network. You can distance yourself from terribly painful memories, but you can also lose your dreams, sometimes even your family's faces or precious memories. In severe cases, you even forget that you're taking a memory suppressant. It's practically amnesia. Our institute is creating a drug that accesses specific memories and paralyzes only that part. It can't be used universally, but we plan to market it separately for breakups or trauma. If we succeed, it won't be misused for kidnapping or human trafficking under the name of amnesia drugs. Losing memory due to a drug. It comes back if you stop taking it, right? In theory, yes, but it seems there are cases where that's not true for the products on the market. That's also the fundamental reason for my long clinical trials. In Chroma City, there will be many people who need this drug, so frequent side effects are unacceptable. Although Chroma City is damn dark all day long, I'm not sure if there are that many patients who would want to suppress their own memories. The average patient doesn't seek a hospital until their condition worsens. I've even seen someone try to fix a paralyzed finger with stretching. Right, many people think of hospitals as a place to go for resurrection. But this drug is also aimed at delaying the neurological disorders caused by light deficiency, not just overcoming strong trauma. The blackout phenomenon. Do they call it zombies these days? That's what people usually call it, I hear. Right, the biggest cause of becoming a zombie is neurological disorder. Despite having no other problems beside light deficiency, extreme trauma accumulates due to nervous system issues. If this drug is completed, the number of zombies on the street will be reduced by more than half. Zombie prevention and trauma care sounds good. The fact that there's a way to get memories back seems good too. It's a hot topic among my colleagues. The fact that memories return when you stop taking it has some people arguing that it forces continuous purchase of the drug. They say we need to consider the consumer's financial situation. That makes sense, but... your opinion on my research? Miss Lian's eyes widened. Does she think we found a common interest? You can't run away forever. If you erase your memories every time things get tough, I feel like you'll end up with nothing left someday. Even today's Miss Lian will go back to face reality tomorrow. You'll do your best to handle the accident and finish the project, right? Well, yes. There are times when you have to do something, but you just can't. Trauma is one of them. There's a hole in your heart and it needs to be filled, but it hurts too much. With the hole, it's impossible not to feel weak in both body and spirit. You need to step back and recover, but you can't because the hole is in your own body. I thought the medicine you were making was for situations like that. That's right, it's very difficult to fix something that has collapsed from the inside. Sometimes it's more important to get away from it and preserve your body and mind. I want the patient to be like you, Miss Lian. A way to regain some energy and find the courage to face the world again. I mean, I hope they solved the problems they've postponed with amended strong mind and body. Like today's Miss Liane. As they said in a certain manga, right? There's no paradise in the place you escape to. Aus welchem Manga ist es denn? There's no paradise in the place you escape to. Ich hab's voll falsch geschrieben. Berserk ist das. Okay, das ist Berserk. Since it's your medicine, Miss Liane, I hope it turns out just as you wish. You little... Why? I thought that was a pretty cool thing for me to say. Miss Liane lunged at me. I believe she had no intention of harming me, but I couldn't stop myself from instinctively stepping back. Now that you've said that, I'll be sure to protect the project. Okay, now let me go. Let me hug you a little longer. Just a little. Just a little. Miss Liane, with teary eyes, left after making a wonderful vow of having a bit of a tantrum. She must have had her own pain, unrecognized by anyone. Look at the time. I should go to the cafe where Prey works for lunch. The heat crushing my brain vanished in an instant. Your touch is really special. Ah, hier steht, wie viele Moves ich benutzen darf. Und so viele habe ich gemoved? Fragezeichen. Blade. Tier 2 power unit, Tier 2 unit, 2 of each, quick. Sir? What are you staring blankly for? Excuse me, customer, are you by any chance in front of me right now? Can you only see the visible light spectrum? Yes, I haven't had the optic nerve digitization procedure done. You're not even up to the basics of the city. In this fucked up neighborhood where it's night, the moment you open your eyes, if you live seeing only visible light, you'll soon get a neurological disorder and become one of those ruling idiots out there. I subscribe to Neon Shine regularly, so I don't really need it. Oh dear, we have an idiot here who offers money to that damn corporation. You're either a foolish sucker brainwashed by the media, or a crazy bastard born with a silver spoon who thinks money grows on trees. I don't know what kind of life you're living, but I'm too law-abiding to live by your ways. I'm amazed someone with their head this far in the clouds is still in the city. It's a wonder you're walking around on your own 2 feet. What a crazy customer. Customer, please deactivate your optical camouflage, and if you're not getting a repair, please leave. Brad, why are you suddenly recommending I deactivate my optical camouflage? To do a repair, I need to scan and replace the unit. But I can't see you at all, so I can't do a proper repair. Is that the only reason? Huh, you've got a knack for comedy. Why would you replace it? I can just swap it out myself. Swap it out yourself? Just as a person can't perform surgery on themselves by cutting open their own stomach and messing with their organs, an EVE also cannot open its core section to replace a unit by itself. Nothing is impossible, Brad. You just pop the lid, swap the unit and close the lid again. If you make a small mistake in the process and power down forever, then that was just the extent of your life. That's a level of recklessness that leaves me speechless. I'd appreciate it if you just shut up and make... the unit. Sir, as much as I want to love to shut up and make it for you, as the manager, I also have to think about the reputation of my repair clinic. Even if I die without anyone knowing, no one will blame this place. Even if my head gets blown off by a corporation's summary executioner's bullet while walking down the street, everyone will think it's a natural death. How can I be sure of that? Blade Hamilton. Mention my name in the back alley 3 blocks from here and everyone will understand. So now, what you need to do is wipe that stupid look off your face and synthesize the units for me. This person is impossible to reason with. Understood, Mr. Blade. I'll make the units for you first. What units did you want exactly? I told you already. Tier 2 power units, Tier 2 neural units. Carve it into your stupid head so I don't forget. You don't forget. Damn it. Please. Please wait a moment. Create units for a lunatic. Sure. Okay. Am besten, dass mehrere Sachen auf einmal kriege hier. Dann kann ich noch... Hier 2 kriegen. Sogar noch mehr. Nice, nice. Popping off, popping off. Ich kann was blau machen. Ich brauche aber keinen Blau. So, das ist schon mal fertig. Dann kann ich das direkt abgeben. So. Das kommt hier hin. Das kommt hier hin. Gebe ich ab. Wo ich hier oben noch gelb. So, gelb, gelb, gelb. Dann machen wir so. Oh, mal fuck. So, dann wird das zusammen. Dann schieben wir das nach oben und dann sind wir fertig. Sorry for the long wait. Faster than I thought. The synthesized units are clean too. Despite your dumb first impression, you're more skilled than you look. Thanks for the compliment. Since I'm in a good mood, let me give you a piece of advice. You'd better erase that psychotherapy introduction on your door. The place I went to last week to get it on with a big-breasted EVE had the same thing written on it. I appreciate the advice, but that clinic's my identity. I don't think I can change it. Instead, if you deactivate your optical camouflage next time and let me repair you directly, you'll be able to properly experience the service. As long as you have that thing dangling between your legs, no service will be possible for me. But thanks anyway. It seems I didn't come for nothing. Take care, Mr. Blade. See you again next time. Don't count on it. Dealing with insane customers is incredibly draining. I should close up for today and soothe my tired body and soul with a can of beer. Okay. 108 Tage Time. Oh, das sind verschiedene Sachen. Fast nicht geschafft. Und bis jetzt habe ich, glaube ich, immer alles geballert gekriegt, ne? Für Blade gab es gar keine Achievement. Okay. Oh, for someone with such a dumb-looking face, your hands are pretty fast, aren't they? I'll give you that. Oh, Player wieder. Chamber 16. Ah, es gibt neuen Stuff. Let's go. High-risk Adam suppressed in city. Summary executioner between fear and salvation. Yesterday's rampage of the high-risk Adam in the city center was quelled early by the deployment core summary executioners. The eliminated unit was confirmed to be an autonomous data anomaly manifestation, having entered LDS Stage 3 blackout, with self-data loss and only slaughter instincts remaining. To avoid repeating the nightmare of the first EVE Adam, Sunshine Corp emphasized, periodic photonic cleaning via neon shine is the only preventative measure, and executioners are the last bastion to delete system errors that have already occurred. The emotionless summary executioner eliminated the Adam without hesitation again, but the view from the scene is complicated. Due to the complete immunity granted by the government, compensation for the damage to citizens caught up in the suppression process remains elusive. Citizens' eyes looking up upon the summary executioners, the shield protecting Chroma City and the blade of terror reigning above the law above the law, cross perilously between relief and trembling. Cold metal melting when stripped, secret tuning skyrockets. As marriage registrations between humans and EVE hit an all-time high, the trend of secret tuning, modifying EVE body parts into forms optimized for sexual activity, is spreading in the shadows. Das ist noch nicht? Das ist so ein Big Ding in Valhalla und dann ist das hier, ist das nicht? Okay. Spreading in the shadows. Going beyond simple cosmetic imitations, this procedure implants ultrafine heating coatings and vibration modules into biosilicone mucosa to create reproductive organs that surpass human biological functions. In an interview, an illegal tuner emphasized, customization from firmness to internal temperature is possible according to taste, adding, humans who experience it once can never return to organic embrace. Of course, the public eye remains harsh. The dominant conservative view points fingers at them as scrap metal fetishists. However, to soothe the solitude of the grey night, minor lovers willing to do the minor lovers willing to endure expensive royalties and social contempt to be held. The lovers' arms are secretly climbing into... What? Sunshine Corps executive attacked and missing. Glass slipper found at scene. Last night, 15th, an incident occurred in the Deep Red Street district on the city outskirts where a high-ranking Sunshine Corps executive was attacked by an unidentified terrorist and went missing. USA investigation results confirmed that all stabilizers guarding the scene were killed. They all died instantly from precise penetrating wounds in the shape of a stiletto heel to the center of the forehead. A blood-stained glass slipper, presumed to be used in the crime, was left at the crime scene. Authorities are focused on the fact that the modus operandi matches a series of disappearances that have occurred over the past few months. This terrorist, known in the public as Cinderella, has been targeting high-ranking government officials at Sunshine Corps executives. And all victims so far remain missing, with their survival unconfirmed. The USA has formed a special investigation team to clarify the truth of this incident and is tracking the culprit's whereabouts by analyzing connections with previous incidents presumed to be the work of the same offender. Okay. I had a dream about being beaten by an invisible man. Since I couldn't see him, I couldn't fight back and just got beaten up. Not exactly a pleasant feeling. Is it because of the customer from yesterday? Whew, I hope only decent customers come in today. Let go. Optical camouflage? I can't believe that symbol of crime is being used so openly. Has that city completely given up on security? It's not so much that they gave up, but rather adapted. Most homes and shops have at least one infrared sensor for security. Even if they can't catch thermal optical camouflage, they can easily detect regular optical camouflage. Then what about thermal optical camouflage? If you use that, the military intervenes instead of the Urban Stability Agency, so you need some serious guts to try it. Thanks to that, the citizens of Chroma City can rest easy and trust their safety to infrared sensors. Living there sounds exhausting. To think hide and seek is part of daily life. Because of that, life here is never boring. That's not boring, it's just troublesome. You have to endure minor inconveniences to be worthy of living in the city of miracles. Miracles my foot. It's just a neighborhood that's dark and gloomy all day long. That's why the neon signs filling every corner look even more dazzling. The night of the street, where humans, EVEs and neon signs mingle, is more beautiful than any day elsewhere. I was so captivated by that sight that I dared to become independent here with just one piece of equipment. One old piece of equipment. It's probably not the night, but the EVEs filling the street that captivate you. And what, independent? You make it sound cool, but did you wipe your hard drive or something? Seems like yesterday you were whining about not having money for food. Who was it that begged mom and dad to save him? I paid it back, with interest. Yeah. Looks like customers here. You're not sulking, are you? No, I'll hang out with you again tomorrow. He's sulking, definitely sulking. I'm not sulking. Pooh. Pray, do you know you're laughing very evilly right now? Really? Normally, I would have picked a fight and looked for something fun to do, but today I'll generously let it slide. Pooh. Miss Prey, speaking as a professional, it looks like you need immediate maintenance. EVE neural network issues often accelerate over time. We need to start right away. As expected, your buzzkill reactions are the best for regaining my stability. Is something wrong? What do you mean by stability? Didn't you see the article yesterday? A high-ranking executive from Sunshine Corp was attacked and went missing in the outskirts of the city. That person from a few days ago. Definitely. They haven't released the identity, but I doubt there's more than one executive visiting the outskirts since Polar Night is just around the corner. With the city's biggest festival coming up, they wouldn't have enough leisure to obsess over trivial things like streetlights. Unless there's someone a bit weird. For feeling about a nuisance, Prey's resentment seemed a bit quite deep. Maybe there's something more she hasn't told me yet. Are you worried because a kidnapping happened nearby? It's not that I'm not worried at all, but if I were scared of that, I would have run away to the next city a long time ago. It's not a big deal. Continuous focus adjustment of the ocular lenses, irregular corporation. This is a common phenomenon when power is being diverted elsewhere. But right now, there's no noticeable physical activity or computational load. That means you're preparing for an emergency. These are typical signs of an anxiety or fear response, you know? What do you know? First class course section engineer, photonic neural network restoration specialist, EVE body maintenance technician certified. I'm an EVE management and inspection expert certified by Chroma City. And the person who opens up your body at least every week to check for problems. I hate it. What exactly does she hate? Don't talk about my condition as you please. The talk about raising the Neon Shine subscription fee is gone, and the streetlight removal plan was scrapped too. Only good things are happening. I don't know what happened, but you can be honest with me at least. Cinderella helped, because I left a post. Cinderella, already a famous dark hero in cyberspace, a figure whose existence is ambiguous. Intermediate, whether a group or indeterminate, whether a group or an individual, famous for assassinating key figures in corporations or drug cartels and leaving a glass slipper conspicuously at the scene. His activities gained support from the impoverished filled with spite and mass-produced countless fans, but there had to be a sour side to his actions. Connections with criminal groups that produced countless innocent victims, or actions suspected to be means of eliminating political opponents of the ruling class were numerous, and people claiming to be Cinderella are pouring out endlessly. It seems there's a culture among fans to treat all that as copycat crimes. Are you saying you can't be scared of a hero? Worry and fear are separate emotions. Even for experts, the risk of misdiagnosis is high without a detailed analysis. It's just worry, because copycat crimes using Cinderella's fame happen often. Right. What, suddenly? This neural unit is connected to the sympathetic nervous system. The tension is immense even with a light press. How much did you push yourself? It might be completely burnt out. It's not that bad. It's your habit to reward yourself when you're anxious, isn't it? Like figures or limited edition goods. Since your balance is empty, looks like you rewarded yourself in a different way. If you let tonight pass, it could be really dangerous, so you better replace it. Tension. This neural unit, sympathetic nervous. We better replace it. Let's go. Was, ich kann nicht immer speichern. Looks like you overdid it yesterday. Reacting like this to a small external stimuli. It makes me anxious. Let's check the repair area first. What the fuck? Oh no, the nerve unit is totally overloaded. Overloaded units will explode and destroy nearby modules. Overloaded units are sensitive. Move until explosions are shown at the top right. Okay. An explosion destroys one tile, left, right, and model units in the same column. Also alles so. Und da, okay. Our unit is destroyed after 3 blasts. Avoid destroying necessary units while repairing. Wie, das Ding explodiert 3-mal? What the fuck? Ich muss auch auf Zeit gucken. Das, einen dicken gelben. Ach, warum schiebt er sich denn dahin? So, der ist schon fertig. Dann gebe ich ihn direkt ab. Das zählt ja nicht als Move, ne? Hoffentlich. Habe ich jetzt nicht drauf geachtet. Nee, das zählt nicht als Move. Das heißt immer, wenn man schon mal einen richtig hat, dann kann man den schon mal abgeben. Ah. Ja, okay, der ist explodiert. Ich kann ihn aber dahin machen, naja. Okay. You must have been very anxious. Oh ja, und er geht in die anderen Dinge auch mit rein. Is the condition very bad? Overvoltage flows through the overloaded neural unit, enough to affect even the D1AL equipment. Just how hard did you stimulate it? Well, I just suddenly got scared. I don't know what you're so worried about, but if you were this anxious, you should have just called me. I could have helped you directly by your side. Pervert. What? Noch mehr? Ah, das Ding verschwindet. Aber okay. Nur gelb. Und ich habe hier nichts. Okay. Okay, okay. Innen ist der große. Schon mal richtig. Nein! Okay. Does Cinderella pull this off with glass slippers every time? Pretty much. According to someone who watched the crime scene from quite close up, they did all that using just a glass slipper without any other weapons. So the glass slipper always left behind is actually the tool used for the crime? I guess so. I saw in SNS that there was a heel-shaped hole in the stability officer's forehead. That pose was censored quickly, but the fountain of blood spurting from the forehead of an But the fountain of blood spurting from the forehead of an existence I always feared was so violent that I inadvertently started rooting for him after that. The expression fountain is even more violent. Unten dick, oben klein. Den kann ich eigentlich sofort machen, oder? Wieso sind die denn hier nicht so direkt gefused? Das ist doch alles gelb. Der muss innen sein. Okay, dann schiebe ich ihn nach innen. Ich krieg nicht gut irgendwie mehrere Sachen auf einmal. Das muss ich alles... Ups. Du musst hier hin. Weg. Oben ist klein. Okay. Is it already over? Yeah, fortunately the surrounding units weren't badly deformed, so I only swapped out the nearly burnt neural unit. Thanks to that, the tense neural units seem to have calmed down. The dial was making weird noises. What kind of magic did you work? Don't mention it. Just because of the overvoltage flowing through the neural unit, the dial equipment almost broke several times during the maintenance. I might be saying this because I don't know, but hearing roughly about it looks incredibly dangerous. And about your symptoms, it's not that big of a deal. It's a problem of repeated force updates of the neural network, but it doesn't affect daily life, except for the problem that some memories might be lost. You just need to restrain yourself from now on. Relax your face a bit. Seems like you have something to say too. Can you say it all with such a serious face? Forget it. For someone so dense, I can't hide anything from you. Professional certifications aren't just for show. But I wish you would read the room a bit. Sometimes there are stories I don't want to tell. Cinderella was my idol. I was the #1 fan, unshaken by controversies. But when an incident happened right here, and because of me, those things filled my head. What if something happened to our cute boss? What if the evil mechanic on the second floor becomes a target? If something like that happened, I felt like I'd go crazy thinking it was my fault. I left a post on a Cinderella help board, and the news came out less than half a day later. I was someone who followed him, treating controversies as gossip. But fear took over when people around me got involved. As far as I know, over 3,000 posts are written on that gallery every hour. I think you're seized by excessive responsibility. Even if Cinderella really chooses targets looking at the gallery, the possibility of seeing your post is almost nil. You're probably right. Excessive responsibility. But once I fell into the mire, I couldn't realize Everything seemed to be my fault, and I worried about things that hadn't even happened yet. I'm completely drained from groaning all night, while touching innocent neural units. Happiness is the best means to forget pain. Anyway, seeing the fine boss and you this morning, I just let out a hollow laugh. So that's why you came making lewd sounds. Lewd? You said I was evil. Seeing prey back to her usual self, I also felt more relaxed after being tense. Sometimes it's better to just throw it up. Like when you have indigestion. What nonsense are you talking about all of a sudden? It means you don't have to hide just because it's immature or contradictory. Of course, you shouldn't always do that. It's wasteful to vomit food and drink, and it looks unsightly, but nothing beats it when you have indigestion. Venting to someone close enough can sometimes help you overcome it. It might make people hate you. I also find people who only talk about their hardships annoying. It's fine if it's not always, but only when it's hard. That's why I started this repair clinic in the first place. If you have anything left to say, it's better to just say it. Something I want to say? Alright. Prey cleared her throat. Then, Chris, next Thursday is Polar Night Day. That day... Polar Night Day. Unlike the majority of people who are excited, I feel nothing but dryness. Seeing that even the Shut and Pray has plans makes me feel like I'm the only one in Chroma City without memories of Polar Night Day. A day I'm strangely uninterested in. Perhaps it's because the happiness in my room overwhelms the noisy streets and lights. Is it okay? What? I was lost in thought for a moment. Sorry, could you say that again? Let's grab a meal together. It's a holiday. Really? It should be a peak season. We're aiming for a different peak season. The boss says Polar Night is everyone's peak season, so this is more profitable. In my opinion, it's clear she just wants to do doujin activities. You mean about Buff Girl. The last episode airs next week. Ah? Wir sind im Dezember. Haben die eben nicht irgendwas vom Februar gesagt? Oder ist es eine andere Show? He's already busy preparing sugar crafts and cosplay costumes. Must be nice to have a boss with matching tastes. That's why I applied in the first place. The physical comic books proudly displayed in a cafe shelf were the trigger. Since it's a retro concept cafe, I suspected they just put anything there. But inside a box in the corner of the cafe, I saw a pile of handmade goods stock. This person is real, I knew it immediately. Take next week's cosplay event for example. The boss is even more enthusiastic than I am. It's the best workplace, except for the fact that we work non-stop. Sounds fun, but also sounds like it'll be quite tough. Better than working during Polar Night. It's annoying to work when everyone else is resting, and there are double the customers than usual. Plus, the power of Buff Girl is amazing. Speaking of which, I should get going. The boss is probably sweating bullets alone. Good luck with your work. You too. And clean your ears next time. Can't even hear what's said right in front of you. My ears are clean. Maybe it's because you haven't taken today's nutritional supplements yet. I haven't taken. Anyway, don't do that next time. Good things come to those who listen. As Prey left, belated fatigue washed over me. I didn't know the difference in nutritional supplements would be this big. I should go cool my head. As expected of the manager, the stinging sensation is gone and I feel totally refreshed. I'll sleep well tonight. Your face looks a bit redder than yesterday's. Did you catch a cold? Thanks for worrying. I went out for a bit and it was chillier outside than I thought. I guess I should have worn a coat. Anyway, it's been a while since we've seen each other this often. Did the matter from last time go well? I actually came to talk about that. We went through all the necessary procedures, but it's unclear if I'll be disciplined. It's out of my hands. Ugh. But I'm hopeful about the project's future. Remember the Nepo hire who was the management's trump card? He changed his mind and decided to help finish our project. And his ability is amazing. So we might succeed in manufacturing a safe drug within this month. That's amazing. And did that person get struck by lightning or something? Suddenly helping you, Leanne? After meeting you yesterday, I sincerely apologized to him. And I asked him that this project is... Ja, die Besetzung ist ein bisschen wack. And that, if not now, I might never be able to attempt it in my life. Do you know what he said then? He asked why I didn't say so earlier. He had been seeing us as being in cahoots with the management all this time. Does that make sense? Ending the project early, according to the management's opinion, was his job. He's someone who doesn't give a single bit of attention if it's not in his interest. Because he's that kind of person. He still doesn't remember a single name of the people in the company. That's serious. It turns out he got into a huge debt, distracted by his own research. And it seems the pharmaceutical company recruited him with research funding as bait. Essentially, he could be seen as similar to you, Leanne, since he's a person chasing dreams. I don't want to admit it, that annoying attitude is still the same. It sometimes feels like working with a super intelligent orangutan. But it's right to admit what needs to be admitted. That's cool. I wanted to hear you say that. You're cool. Good, more. You're cool, Leanne. Leanne sighed with satisfaction and stared at me intently. Now tell me your story. Me? My job is to listen to stories. Because you keep dodging like that. Even though I visit so often, I know nothing about you. That might be why I'm curious. Or maybe... Alright. Then, since we've been talking about dreams so far, I'll talk about that. Talking about the mysterious medicine you take whenever you can is also fine. I'm very interested in that too. So to disappoint you. But that medicine is a supplement sent by my parents. I haven't even been taking it because I felt uneasy after our last conversation. What a boring answer. I thought it would be a greater secret. If you don't mind, you can check it for yourself. Since I'm not taking it right now, wouldn't it be good to check it at the lab? If the ingredients are clarified, I can take it with a peace of mind. Leave it to me. Leanne snatched the pill bottle and tucked it into her bosom. Leanne's clothes probably have plenty of pockets. So, are you going to get an inspection? I will, but before that, it's a rare opportunity. Let's talk a bit more. How about it? Okay. Leanne grinned and adjusted her sitting posture, as if expressing interest. Her face came twice as close, and a burdensome smile greeted me. I have a sister named Michelle. We were inseparable when we were young, and we still contact each other every day. Oh? You don't need to write it down. No, continue. When she was young, Michelle kept telling me she wanted to become an EVE. Because parts can be changed anytime, and they have many strengths compared to humans. Considering the long conflict between EVEs and humans, I don't know how childish Michelle was back then. Sister-in-law is positive about EVE. What did you say? Huh? Nothing, keep going. From some point, I wanted to make Michelle's dream come true. I don't have a clear memory. Maybe I wanted to be a good brother. Or maybe it was a goal I had on the side since my major overlapped. Time passed and I got all the technical certifications related to EVE. And naturally, it became more comfortable for me to communicate with EVEs than with people. My sister left for the other side of the world, and the dream of becoming an EVE has long been forgotten. I felt it last time too, but you cherish your sister more than I thought, don't you? I do cherish her. You do. Siblings I know are basically in a relationship where they try to kill each other if there were no laws. You are a severe case among severe cases. Could be. I talk to Michelle every day and I got this job because of Michelle. Sorting it out one by one, it's embarrassing to deny it. Habitual areas can be hard to perceive. Anyway, it's surprising. I never thought there would be someone you are that attached to. Oder, hä? Your attachment to my sister. Actually, the level of attachment is... are you getting maintenance today? Huh? Suddenly? I don't really need to. But there's no need to refuse either. Gently, please. Leave it to me. To change the subject. Ganz schön am Arsch dafür, dass sie es nicht braucht. Ein großes blaues. Das ist das letzte. Das hier unten, okay. Ey, yo. Chill. Gelb brauche ich gar nicht. Ich habe jetzt full gelb hier bekommen. Nice. Kann ich? Ja. Okay. Sure. Okay. A customer who came earlier said this, that a terrorist called Cinderella is going around smashing corporate executives' heads with a glass slipper. I saw it on the news. The heel pierced cleanly through the frontal lobe. People think it's some kind of artistic judgment. But to me, it's just the obsession of a terrible pervert psycho. But who cares? Thanks to that pervert, the company executives got scared and didn't come to work today. I'd even want to give them an achievement award. Ah, hier braucht man Gelb. Mache ich das als nächstes? Welches ist das kleine Gelbe? Das oben. So. Dann gebe ich das ab direkt. Never mind. Dann mache ich so und gebe das ab. Das ist das kleine Blaue, ne? Ja. Gebe ich das direkt ab. Ah, das ist uncool. Das ist ein bisschen wack hier geworden. Da muss das hier hin. Ich hätte wahrscheinlich viel optimierter das machen können, aber... Have you been to the new synthetic whiskey bar nearby? The reviews are quite extreme. I have. The first taste was like disinfectant and the aftertaste smelled like rusty rebar. It was a very honest taste of the slums. Is that a compliment? At least that cheap bar doesn't pretend to be luxury. Even the $300 liquor sold in sophisticated lounges in the city center is just synthetic concentrate from the same factory mixer's flavoring. These days I care more about who tricks me less than a taste. A big yellow, big red. Ich habe 12 Dinger, das muss ich eigentlich voll ausnutzen. So, gib ab. Mache ich so. So. Ich schiebe immer nur so wenig. Maintenance ends here. Actually, rather than maintenance, it was more like replacing perfectly fine parts and dusting off a bit. Not necessarily. Your maintenance today felt unusually rushed. Was it very uncomfortable? I'm sorry. No, rather the unusually rough touch was a different kind of stimulation. Thanks to that, I felt like the stress accumulated from my being pushed around lately was relieved, to the point where I almost lost my mind. I take it as a compliment. While I was organizing the equipment, Leanne had entered story mode again and was waiting for me. My plan to distract her with maintenance seemed to have failed. I've made the payment. And a piece of information as a tip. What is it? This year's Polar Night Day will be the biggest event ever, celebrating the 80th anniversary of Chroma City. They are secretly preparing an event of a huge scale. More than now, the original scale was already huge. Correct. Besides, the power consumed by Chromatic Zenith was already borderline, but I heard it's going to be three times bigger this time. Where are they going to handle that much? Manchmal verlese ich mich und manchmal ist es einfach falsch. So they plan to cut off power to the outskirts. From the outskirts. No. Most citizens will be at the venue or sleeping anyway, so they judged it won't be a big issue. If it becomes controversial, they can just say it was a blackout. It's rational but cruel. What are people like me supposed to do? It might be good to try changing your constitution. Wake up your dormant extroversion and walk the night streets watching the festival night view. The city with lights out is as quiet as your shop, and you don't have to worry about sweating in the crowds. Walking alone in the streets is scary. Stability officers and terrorists are scary. If you're scared, maybe I could go with you. Well, even if it's not me, there's an option of walking with your sister. Unfortunately, Michelle isn't coming. You mean she's not coming to Chroma City for Polar Night? Leaving her brother, whom she's attached to, behind? Or does she live that far away? First of all, we don't have an attachment relationship. Since Michelle and I have a lot in common, she might not be interested in Polar Night, just like me. As for where she lives, I don't know. It's probably been 2 years since we talked about such trivial things. We're mostly busy teasing each other. Is that so? And about walking with you, Leanne, I'll consider my schedule. An acquaintance asked to have a meal. If that's around dinner time, it might be difficult. Okay. Leanne, your expression is scary. I'm not angry. I just have something to check. I'll be going now. See you later. I told you I'm not angry. Think about the walk and contact me. I'll be waiting. It took a lot of courage. Leanne hurried away as if she was really in a rush. She didn't receive any calls during our conversation, so did she suddenly remember a forgotten schedule? Her serious attitude bothered me, but the unrushing fatigue began to take away my mind even faster. I should close up earlier than usual today. That supplement, the effect was amazing. To catch even the slightest noise at the nerve endings. Your obsessive thoroughness is quite sexy, you know? December 17th. Perfekt für eine Pipi-Pause. Bis gleich. So's. Hund will wieder nicht rein. Mal gucken, wie lange das dauert, bis er kommt. Kratzt an der Tür. Entering total polar night from today. 5 days without even a grey night. Starting today, 17th, until polar night day on the 21st, the city enters a total polar night phase where not even the grey night is permitted. It is a period when even the grey scattered light that barely colored the surface by piercing through the pollution layer covering the stratosphere disappears. The Urban Stability Agency warned that LDS onset speed could accelerate faster than usual due to the complete extinction of light, and strongly recommended citizens significantly increase their neon shine usage time. The total polar night period covering Chroma City in the deepest darkness of the year is scheduled to end with polar night day on the 21st. Und der Hund will rein. Komm. Well, hat der Hund Pech. Polar Night Day Outskirts Power Optimization Guide. This is an announcement from the Urban Stability Agency, USA, to ensure the flawless realization of Chromatic Zenith, planned as the largest scale event in history by the Sunshine Corps and the independent government. Power optimization will be implemented on the day of the Polar Night Day, temporarily cutting off power in some outskirts districts to concentrate it in the center. This is an unavoidable measure to secure stable output during the Chromatic Zenith proceedings. Residents of the affected areas are requested to fully charge battery units in advance in preparation for the announced blackout period and strictly adhere to guidelines for the LDS prevention. We ask for the cooperation of citizens for the glory of Chroma City. Hund. Been Back is this new game just released. Yeah, this is mostly reading, yeah. Komm rein. Komm rein, Fiete. Komm. Guckst du doof aus der Wäsche, ne? Komm rein. Komm. Komm. Komm rein. Was ist denn los mit dir? Hm? Hm? Deppert. Terror at Stabilizer Academy. Casualties unknown. Early this morning, 17th, an explosive attack presumed to be the work of an anti-government terrorist group, Morning Glory, occurred at the Stabilizer Academy located on dark brown streets in the city's outskirts. This resulted in the complete destruction of parts of the facility and children trapped at the scene. Yeah, I need to drink much for this game. The damage to the site is understood to be severe due to this attack, which is presumed to have used military-grade explosives. Immediately after the accident, a rescue team from the Urban Recovery Agency was urgently dispatched and is conducting search and rescue operations, but the specific scale of the casualties and detailed situation have not yet been reported. This seems to be the most tired morning I've had lately. And I think I had a strange dream yesterday, but I can't remember it at all. Is this all because I didn't take the supplement? My body doesn't feel too good either. In my experience, focusing on something usually helps at a time like this. Let's open for business for now. So Cinderella is active as a righteous phantom thief? Yeah, after a customer told me yesterday, I got curious and looked it up. And some people already treat them as a hero. And that hero goes around smashing public authority with high heels. I didn't believe it at first either, But after seeing videos on social media, I changed my mind. High heels can be a scarier weapon than I thought. Really? Why not say that they appeared riding a pumpkin carriage? Actually, they say they sometimes appear riding a hover bike covered with orange bulletproof glass. What a spectacle. In a place swarming with Cinderella fetish psychopaths and people who support them, I'm sometimes amazed that you can stay sane and live there, Chris. Sane. I do need to live straight starting today. Why, is there a problem? Because the city enters complete polar night starting today. Complete polar night? Isn't that place always night anyway? It is dark all day, but it's not night for 24 hours. That doesn't make any sense. Chroma City has two types of nights. The generally considered night and the grey night where the sun is up but it's dark. You mean it's dark even during the day? Yeah, when this place used to be an industrial city, the pollution was terrible. The smog and fine dust from that time accumulated in the stratosphere and created a pollution layer that blocks all sunlight, so it's dark even during the day. It's just slightly brighter than night as the light scatters mildly. To be exact, it should be seen as a night with slightly increased brightness. We call that the grey night. It certainly is a crappy neighborhood. As I said yesterday, that's the charm of the city. But for this period, I have to admit it's crappy. What's got into you? Usually you would rattle off the pros of Chroma City. I'm a bit tired today. I feel like just resting. That's a shame. I'll contact you again tomorrow. Okay, see you tomorrow. Sleeping tiredly and waking up tiredly. They say parents are never wrong. I never imagined the supplement they taught me to live on would be this effective. If psychological depression and a few diseases overlap, I'll definitely become a zombie. I somewhat understand why there are so many zombies on the streets. Headache, chronic fatigue, dizziness, and a bit of anxiety. It's the perfect trial to experience the importance of health firsthand. Human bodies are like EV. So if there's a failure in hardware, it affects the software, the mind. Of course, the reverse is also true, like the incident where someone froze to death solely due to psychological factors in a non-functional freezer, or cases where actual illnesses were cured by taking ineffective medicine. A healthy mind is a healthy body. Since physical health is gone, maybe it's time to take care of the healthy mind. If they affect each other, complaining of fatigue and groaning would be a direct train to the worst, with body and mind working together, rather than working today quietly. Hello? Orca, what happened? I got hit by some collapsing debris. I could have avoided it normally. I guess I was tired from frequent deployments lately. So no matter of fatigue, coming quickly. The fact that the alloy of the exterior parts is dented means that if it were a standard EVE model, it would have been destroyed without even saving the core. Is that so? Rather than that, I want to rest a bit. Usually people die when they say things like that. I start the maintenance, then just a little rest. Orca. Let's go, repair. Lieber ein Mixed First. Dann kriegt man mehr Sachen zusammen. Wo ist der Kleine? Der Kleine ist das, der Große ist das, okay. I-A-U. Okay. Machen wir mal so direkt. So, kriege ich irgendwie... Ich könnte hier unten lang gehen und das Gelbe hier reinschieben, oder? Ah ne, man schiebt nicht, man tauscht die Plätze. Dann never mind, I guess. Ach, runtergeschoben. Das ist so doof. Das ist der Große, ne? Ja. Die beiden sind die Großen und das ist klein. Okay, okay. Das kann ich direkt abgeben. Nice. blauen sind useless, ne? Kann ich abgeben direkt. Das muss dahin. Kriege ich rot irgendwie noch gemacht? So. Hier hin, ne? Yes. Das rote muss dann hier hin. Okay. Oka, can you hear my voice? Stay conscious. I need to verify if you can hear me. Your condition isn't good. The power unit and some neuron units have completely stopped functioning. The exterior alloy is severely deformed and the internal frame is pressing on the core. I need to hurry. Urgent unit replacement is needed for all remaining parts too. Okay, also muss ich hier ein bisschen schneller sein. Dann scheiße ich auf, wie viele Moves ich habe. Sondern baller einfach. Welches ist das große? Das unten in der Mitte. Ich kann was in Blau machen. Nicht viel Gelb im Moment da. Das kann ich direkt abgeben. Gib mir mal mehr Gelb. Ah, cold. Oka, are you conscious? No, Ohara, you can't be pushed back there. Oka, what did you just... Counterattack now. Grab the neck. Magical German suplex. Are we citing buff girl lines right now? In this situation. Blood. So what if I bleed? I have to win. I have to save the kids. Ohara, let's go. Orca, Ohara. Just a little more. We can save everyone. Orca. I'll make sure you can meet the kids you saved again. I'll save you somehow, I promise. Darf ich? Okay. Fortunately, I put out the urgent fire. Thanks to rushing, the core output is returning to normal quickly. Phew, now I can relax a bit. Orca? It's so comfortable, forever like this. Orca, you have to hold onto your consciousness. If you lose consciousness now, but since I'm a buff girl, I have to protect everyone. I'll get up again and again. Orca has a cute side like this too. Orca, are you awake? Just a little more. A little more? Is it core power shortage? Wait a moment. The emergency power unit I left here is... this? Orca, you woke up. I'm sorry. I haven't slept a wink since we last met. I felt sleepy coming to a comfortable place. By any chance, did I say anything strange while sleeping? It's just good that you're safe. So that subtle answer. How did you get hurt like that? Normal structural collapse wouldn't even scratch alloy steel easily. Orca looked at me with a frown. You didn't say much. Orca's strong will. And maybe some sleep talking about buff girl. I said a lot. It seems you secretly like your name. It seems you secretly like that your name is the same as the season's buff girl. Orca o Ohara. Stop. It was fun watching Orca's reaction, but I didn't want to witness the performance of a machine that stays intact, even in a collapsed building, with my own eyes. Okay, I'll stop. Anyway, what really happened? 2 dent exterior parts classified as heavy equipment. Do you know the group called Morning Glory? Terrorists. One of the main reasons I'm scared to walk the streets at night. Morning Glory is an anti-government terrorist group. Their goal is to mobilize the crowd using poverty and deprivation and give satisfaction by openly trampling on public authority. They are also causing social problems in Chroma City. They claim to be an outlet for anger. Yes, they've increased significantly lately. Cinderella, Morning Glory. An EVE I know is also a fan of Cinderella. To be exact, was a fan, would be correct. Morning Glory is worse than Cinderella. Cinderella only commits bizarre crimes, but Morning Glory uses that as a tool for agitation. If they push a little saying it's because of that guy, regarding the anger accumulated over life, the oppressed crowd turns into a terrifying mob. Just yesterday, Morning Glory raided the Disability Officers Training Center. It was a place that also functioned as an orphanage. It's that facility with the many conspiracy theories. Yes, they say they cultivate perfect government henchmen through thorough ideological education from a young age. It is also true for children who wish to become stability officers. Anyway, Morning Glory also attacked the training center using that controversy as an excuse, and even used military explosives they got from somewhere. I was evacuating the kids and confronting the crowd, but collapsed rebar fell on me and the protesters. I want to stop listening here. That's terrible, I understand. The rest of the story is just an obvious tragedy that has been repeated. Chroma City and Morning Glory. Only the crowd and mediators die and get hurt in that conflict. The main instigators hide behind and just blabber. If they want to fight so bad, they should set up a ring and fight with martial arts. The ratings would be good too. Wouldn't combat power become a qualification for politicians then? Anyway, I thought you were a very calm person, Chris, but you're reacting intensely to the story. Do I? Yes. When we first met, I thought you were a bit cold and had a business-like sharpness, even about the Polar Night Day incident. You gave cool-headed remarks with objectivity. What did I say? I don't remember well. Before you said excluding budget and compensation, only patients remain in Chroma. I thought about it. Stopping the show alone causing suffering to a huge number of workers and causes economic... What? Das wird ja immer schlimmer. Stopping the show alone causes suffering to a huge number of workers and causes economic damage. It also disappoints the public waiting for the festival. It was a story that made me realize that although it's a harsh decision, there's a reason. Usually I only met people who were outraged at either the protesters or Chroma City. Lately I've been feeling tired a lot. Maybe that's why. If you hadn't come looking like you were dying today, I wouldn't have opened the shop. If so, I'm sorry. For you to rest well quickly. No need for that. It was fun. And I felt proud too. Don't overdo it, Chris. Looking at your state today, that seems like something I should be saying. Goodbye, buff girl. Orca trembling her tail and disappeared as if running away. Now that the tension is released, fatigue is rushing in rapidly. Let's rest for a moment. Oh ne, es war in Moves und nicht Time. Weird. Amazing, my tail, which felt heavy as a block of iron, now feels as light as my own body. I feel energized. Blade again. Beep. Beep, beep. The fire is too dangerous to enter. Beep. Hey. Chris, yes. Wait, was I asleep? I reflectively sat up at the shout, hitting my ears. The alarm I just heard, was it a dream? A familiar yet ominous red flash flickers before my eyes. Another strange dream. What on earth was it? Beyond my blurry vision, an unwelcome wavering figure appears. It's Blade, who came a few days ago. I briefly considered pretending to sleep again, but knowing his foul mouth would pour out gave me a headache, so I soon fixed my posture. Hey, you pale brat, are you awake now? Blade? Who else is here besides you? Sleeping with the shop door open, you've got some guts. Don't just space out. Synthesize 2, stage 3 power units and 1 stage 3 noodle unit for me. As fast as possible. My patience is crawling on the floor, just like the public order of this rotten city. Welcome, Blade. Outside is bustling with preparations for Polar Night Day. But you don't look very happy. Festival, don't make me laugh. Because of the high output holograms those damn corporations are shooting, my optical camouflage armor is overloading like crazy. Besides, the whole city is excited and giggling like they're on cheap electronic drugs. And taking advantage of that, those morning glory bastards or whatever are shitting all over the place. Actually, another customer was here today and said it's chaos because major city facilities were intentionally damaged. That's all they're doing. On the outside, they claim to be a liberation army resisting corrupt power, but to my eyes, they are just dopamine addict bastards running wild because they're unsatisfied with their lives. With the energy they use running around saying they'll change the world, it would be much more beneficial for themselves and the world to just mess with an executioner in the back alley and die. While the methods are extreme. Thanks to that, civilians are traveling in fear even amidst the year-end atmosphere. Fear? No, this is closer to annoyance. Thanks to those wannabe terrorists, the damn stability officers have set up checkpoints at every block and are glaring around. Thanks to that, getting in and out of this neighborhood has become 20 times more annoying. It's a damn tough neighborhood. First, please wait for the dial equipment setup. It will take a while. By the way, kid, that equipment you're using. Yes? That's a first generation old model, right? The one that doesn't send maintenance records to Sunshine Core. Using such untraceable stuff in times like these means you either have guts or you have a lot to hide. Well, I just use it because I'm used to it. And it would be more comfortable for you too, Blade, if no records are left. Kah. What an amazing answer. You look like a model student rich kid on the outside, but you act sly. Well, you can't do business in this field without that kind of guts. I take it as a compliment. I'm starting the work, so please be quiet for a moment. But kid, do you know what the name of that idiot group means? Blade's mouth never stays still for a moment. Well, isn't it usually used to mean the glory of the morning? It also means morning glory, the flower. As expected, guys who grow up like flowers in a greenhouse, like you, think that way. It means morning wood, you stupid bastard. Ignorant scholars probably named it sounding fancy looking up dictionaries, but in my eyes, they just look like a gathering of brats whose only achievement is pitching a tent every morning. If the organizational hierarchy was determined by that morning hardness, I would have already conquered the city acting as their king, don't you think? Your thinking is very vulgar. But well, if they really had the will to change the world, they wouldn't have used the inefficient method of destroying public facilities to draw aggro. Oh? Because real experts would have quietly eliminated only the target. Your ace just changed a bit. I'm joking. Equipment setup is done. Let's start the work. Der will auf jeden Fall Zeit. Okay, let's go. Du. Dann kann ich euch mixen. Man braucht 3 von denen. Holy. So. So. Okay, dann müsste ich das haben. Ich brauche 2 von den roten. Holy fuck. Weg. So, dann kann ich euch hier mixen. euch da hoch abgeben. Okay. Kann ich das machen? Dann mache ich so. So. Und so. Okay. War das schnell genug? Here are the stage 3 power units and neural unit you requested. While synthesizing, I also added outline correction to make it neat. With this, it won't get caught by checkpoint scanners and will pass smoothly. Oh, fast as expected. The surface of the synthesized unit is very smooth too. Look at this. The skill to crush security codes is extraordinary. Unlike your stupid looking first impression, your skills smell quite dangerous. Dangerous? It's just a customized service for the customer. No, I like it. Guys who do their job properly are my type. I trust you, who calmly produces results, much more than those revolutionaries who are all talk. Thanks. You have a foul mouth, Blade, but you don't seem like a bad person. Save the flattering bullshit. Tell me honestly, where'd you earn your stripes? I've been just an ordinary mechanic for a long time, as far as I remember. As far as you remember? That's meaningful. Blade, please stop joking around and go back. If you stay longer, someone will report you. Yeah, since I'm in a good mood, I'll give you a piece of advice. Stay home this polar night day. Because there are rumors that those Morningwood bastards are going to cause a major incident. Wouldn't it be my loss if a technician like you got swept up and died? Thanks for the advice, though I don't think you're in a position to worry about me, Blade. Next time, bring a sexy female EVE as an assistant. Then I'll spend money more happily instead of looking at your sickly face. Get home safely. That human is insane today as well. I don't know what he's thinking walking around. Watching the wavering figure moving away, my mind slowly becomes hazy, even though the infrared sensor at the entrance rings loudly, and Blade's startled curses fades away into the distant haze. I should stop here for today and go inside to sleep quickly. Very smooth, you pulled it off cleanly without any unnecessary junk, I like it. Gibt's denn noch so für Achievements? Received a decent evaluation for the repair. Man muss einmal verkacken. Upgrade the battery to the maximum. Viewed the dev credits. Changed the BGM 5 times in a row. Checked all SNS feeds from day 1 to 7. Overloaded an overloaded unit 3 times or more. Das ist die Bombe, ne? Repaired the end perfectly, received a good evaluation for all repairs, synthesized a level 5 module, infected all modules with a virus. Repaired Orca perfectly, Prey perfectly, unlocked all achievements und 6 hidden achievements. Zack, Achievement. Red Miracle blooms in ashes. Scarlet Response Unit rescues all children. The Scarlet Response Unit under the Urban Stability Agency announced that they successfully rescued all trapped children just 4 hours after being deployed to the scene of the Stabilizer Academy explosion terror attack that occurred early yesterday morning, 17th. The TNDLS models, who entered the deepest parts impossible for the general rescue teams to access due to collapse risk, utilized special armor to clear debris and secure survivors. Although there were losses such as injuries to some members and damage to external equipment during this operation, they proved their unrivaled rescue capabilities by ending the situation without a single casualty. An official from the Urban Stability Agency stated, "Thanks to the sacrifice of the Scarlet Response Unit, despite Morning Glorious brutal terror, we were able to protect the city's future. The rescued children are currently reported to be resting and receiving precise medical examination at nearby medical facilities." Ban on old dial equipment considered. Maintenance blind spot controversy. As arrests of EVEs involved in recent crimes increase, authorities are moving to regulate older dial DXAL equipment. that aids the illegal modification. While current D1AL models transmit maintenance records to Sunshine Corp in real time, first and second generation models lack tracking functions, drawing criticism that they are being misused as covert maintenance tools by criminal organizations. Consequently, Chroma City authorities are carefully reviewing a ban on the use and confiscation of older equipment to strengthen the security. However, this is still in the discussion stage and actual enforcement measures have not been finalized. Upon hearing the news, fierce backlash is already erupting among mechanics and citizens in the lower class districts. For commoners who cannot afford the massive royalties and purchase costs of new D1AL equipment, the confiscation of older equipment is effectively tantamount to the deprivation of EVE maintenance rights. The government stated that it is discussing technical alternatives between blocking criminal abuse and protecting the common people. Cry to the end of Ash Grey Night, Arion Assemble. Since the Urban Stability Agency, USA, declared the intensive crackdown period, the streets of Chroma City have been consumed by fear, not peace. The blood of innocent civilians is staining the asphalt due to indiscriminate excessive force and unannounced inspections without warrants. Without warrants? By stabilizers, and those asserting legitimate rights are vanishing without a trace. Suppressed anger has already reached a critical point. The nano-catalyst suspicions reported daily by this press have now turned into conviction. Sunshine Corps and the Chroma City independent government are injecting slave brands into our bloodstream, slowly killing us to maintain their empire. Therefore, on the 5th, we announced a massive assembly on Dark Brown Street to demand the truth about nano-catalysts and fight for the right to survive. Do not hide behind the hazy comfort given by neon shine anymore. Only when we all pour into the streets and become a massive noise will an irreversible crack form in this rotten system. A true morning is not given for free. It is won by cutting out the power of the night. Witness the dazzling morning that will change the city's fate together on Dark Brown Street. And it feels like something is about to come to mind, but it fades away when I try to focus. War da noch was anderes? This is the worst. My headache feels worse than yesterday. At this point, it feels like simple dimming. Feels less like simple dimming and more like flicker. That can't be. Just in case, I slept with a neon shine on all day yesterday. Maybe it's just my imagination, but my body feels worse too. I think I have a fever. I want to take the day off today, but there might be a customer who needs urgent help, like Orca yesterday. Just in case, let's keep the shop open. I go. A customer yesterday told me that the anti-government terrorist group Morning Glory is actually a sexual slang. Gross. You said you had a headache. Did you contact me just to say that? It wasn't me, it was a customer who said it. Well, at least I heard it from you. The moment you said something that didn't need to be said, you become an accomplice, got it? I'll keep that in mind. Keep in mind, it seems your brain cells are rotting from hanging out with your own kind. If it were where I live, that customer would probably be writing an appeal right now, refusing to accept the trial verdict. Where you live? Come to think of it, Michelle, where are you living again? What are you talking about out of the blue? You don't actually have brain damage, do you? Forgetting where I live and all. I have been suffering from chronic fatigue lately, but I don't know if there's anything wrong with my brain. Seeing as my memory is failing, maybe it really is a brain issue. Isn't it because you stopped taking mom and dad's supplement? Who told you to do that anyway? That's the price for doubting your parents' grace. If you're having trouble, you should probably start taking them again. I'd like to, but I handed them over to another customer for now. Why? I told you last time. Das ist der 5. Tag, ne? It felt uncomfortable taking something when I didn't even know what it was. I figured I could take it with peace of mind once the ingredients were confirmed. Anyway, I'm asking seriously. Where was it that you lived? I'm starting to get a little scared. I was going to say far away universe beyond the event horizon. But you're so serious it clearly won't work on you. I just don't have the energy to joke around. Don't be sick. You're pretty important in my life. A sense of relative superiority is a necessary emotion, you see. Nico, I have that one coworker who just keep judging me or denying the pain I felt, saying he got it worse. I don't know. Why is he judging you? You haven't been beaten up lately, so can't hit me, can you? Anyway, seriously, don't get sick. I'm worried about you in my own way. Thanks. The same goes for us. Hi. It's Prey. What brings you here? Came to see if you were dead. For a guy who loves touching EVE so much, to close the shop, I had no choice but to think something big must have happened. I didn't turn on the outside light. It's not my day off, but I was so out of it I forgot to turn them on. You look really pale. My sister was worried too. She thinks there's a problem with my brain cells. That's just an insult. I'm tired of this spiritual talk, which feels more like cruelty rather than... So I wonder if it's rude to tell him... I mean, not really. Like, if he's talking like some bullshit you don't wanna hear. You can say, like, let me alone. I don't have time for this bullshit right now. I don't know. She says it's out of concern. And she might be right. There are a lot of things I can't remember. It seems my concentration has dropped significantly without me realizing it. I have to agree with that. Improve your concentration a bit and listen to what others say. I try. Prey sat down next to me. It's a chilly workshop. And the small folding bed in the corner. In the quiet stillness, outside noise lingers in my ears. The soundproofing isn't good enough to call this place a place away from all the outside noise. It's cold. Prey laid down on the bed. Then she stole part of a blanket I was using and wrapped it around herself. Warm. You might catch it if you stick this close to me. Did you forget? I'm an EVE. I can't catch human diseases. Right. Of course. That lack of bias is probably what wins over EVEs. I can't look at customers with prejudice. If you think about it that way, it's kind of an occupational disease. It's so severe that your body can't live without EVEs anymore. If you don't indulge in an EVE's insides for even a day, you even show signs of anxiety disorder. I mean, I don't have someone who belittles me every day. But it would probably be not nice, yeah? You even show signs of anxiety disorder. Isn't that right? You make it sound really perverted. You are a pervert. Well, that's partly why I keep talking to Michelle. Because without Michelle, my life would only have EVEs. She's like a vaccine against anthropophobia. Even though you're human yourself, rather than who I am, who I live is more important. Talking about bullying your little sister while acting so cool is a talent in itself. Slight pressure. Prey leaned her body against mine. A few days ago I got a shadow proxy offer. They offered a huge sum of money and a 1-year term. Shadow proxy. It's slang for overwriting someone's data onto an EVE. Although classified as illegal since EVEs gained human rights, it is still one of the thriving underground industries. The key reason it hasn't been eradicated yet is known to be largely due to the choice of the EVEs themselves. Because it is something only EVEs, not humans, can do, they are paid in very high service fees. Overwriting someone's data into an EVE. Don't worry, I turned them down. I didn't doubt it. The person who proposed it was terrible too. It was a proposal from the worst customer of the year. Well, you're blessed. At first, I can tolerate him, but now after I'm tired of my job. I'm already losing my patience. I don't even try to do this last text knowing positive. Yeah. Like if it's... I mean, you need to, like... make your... what do I say? You shouldn't, like... You can't look weak to him, you know? You need to be strong. You can't let him bully. I mean, is he bullying you? I don't know. But like he's talking bullshit and stuff that you don't want, and you know? Don't tell me that's streetlight, idiot. You say you have memory problems, but you remember this well. That's right, it was him. A high-ranking executive at Sunshine Corp asking for a shadow proxy, so that's why you hated him so much. That's partly true, but the important thing was the proposal itself. It would have been better if it was a famous actor or a well-crafted commercial persona. I was asked to raise his son for a year. Son? Yeah, son. Said I look exactly like his dead wife or something. Maybe he was worried about his son grieving over his missing mother. He wanted to gift his son a mother for just 1 year. There's an unexpected request? Right. Then, when I refused, he got angry and called me a heartless bitch. He dropped the polite attitude and played the card you know so well. Don't tell me, removing the streetlights. Yep. And raising the subscription fee. Wriggling movement. Prey twisted her body like this way and that, as if uncomfortable. Nah, it's okay. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I can't talk. But yeah. Bro, what the fuck? It's gonna get better. Hopefully. And if not, I don't know. If he keeps saying another BS again, I wouldn't hesitate to stop. I mean, yeah, if he only, like if he's just talking stuff to make, like, I don't know, make you feel worse or something, then yeah. It's funny to think that for the sake of a loved one, you can torment someone else that much. Once you go through a shadow proxy, you suffer from the injected data for the rest of your life. If I had accepted that offer, I would have felt maternal love for his son, even while being treated like a temporary tin can. Did you know that? Even after the contract ended, even as time passed, I would still feel that he is my son, unconsciously. I only knew it as technical information, but hearing it like this makes it sound terrible. It means cognition and reality diverge. For a lifetime. I thought he was just spouting nonsense because it was someone else's business. Of course, that was actually true. So I wrote a post on the Help Me Cinderella gallery. The man disappeared. And then it suddenly crossed my mind. Spouting nonsense as if it is someone else's business applied to me as well. That man was trash, but he was also someone's father. It's admirable that you have such mature thoughts, but you don't need to stress yourself out so much, Prey. It's not like you killed him. For writing a single post on the internet, your remorse seems excessive. I just meant that I like your unbiased gaze. Because people mistakenly think EVEs swap personalities like parts. Services like this are maintained. Only the EVEs who get caught up in it are pitiful. EVEs are similar to humans. What is? Not knowing how their own bodies work. Of course. There's even a saying to hit the core hard 3 times before worrying about it. In my professional opinion, you shouldn't do that. You don't do that before coming did you? Prey laughed loudly. She seemed to think it was a funny joke. But I'm genuinely worried. Anyway, thanks for listening. I'll give you a reward. The habit of giving rewards when anxious hasn't changed. The reward is the right to touch my body however you want. You get restless if you don't do maintenance for even a day, right? And when you're not feeling well, drooping like this makes it worse. So, with the mindset of fixing yourself, move at your own pace. Maintenance. Okay. Don't do it too hard. Okay. Das kommt hier hin. Zack. Und dann kann ich das hier kombinieren. Für das hier. Okay. Early yesterday morning, Remy seemed to mistake my external power cord for a toy. She didn't pull it, did she? It got half pulled, causing a contact failure. Thanks to that, I was stuck in battery saving mode for 3 hours. And I had to just watch Remy sitting on my face. So it was a systemically perfect cat discharge state. Don't laugh. When I was forcibly rebooted, the sight of her yawning right in front of my nose will never be erased from my logs. Okay. This one. Ich brauche way more blue. Okay. Das ist, dann hier, das ist. Da brauche ich noch gelb, dann mache ich das so. Nein, das war ein Move zu viel. Und so, okay. I downloaded a friendly clerk patch from the dark web yesterday to try and get more tips. You installed something like that with your personality? The result is obvious. Exactly, it turns out it was full of bugs. Every time a customer made an unreasonable request, my optical lens would wink on its own. Is that a new marketing strategy? Don't even ask. Some old guy thought I was interested in him and tried to take me out along with his coffee. Of course, he got caught by the enraged boss and had to take a magical backbreaker with his whole body. Nice, beide roten habe ich schon. Ich habe schon wieder so wenig Blau. Ich kann was gelb machen. Nein. Fuck me. Schon wieder ein Zug verschwende. Okay, das ist das. Okay. Finish quickly, this should be enough. Unlike usual, you were in an uncomfortable position, so it must be tough. That too, but who really does whatever they want? Just because I said do whatever you want. I thought my toes were cramping. There was no reason to touch them. But I tinkered with some circuits I was curious about. How is it? My body itself feels stiff and creaky, but my mind feels dazed and refreshed. I don't know if I'm expressing it well. It sounds like a dazed and refreshed expression. Yeah, then it's accurate. I need to stretch a bit. There you go. Also, have you thought about what we discussed last time? Polar Night Day. No? You wanna die? I received a proposal from another customer too. So since the time wasn't specified, I couldn't decide. If it's lunch, both are possible, so lunch would be good. Then it's definitely dinner. From dinner until the next morning. I can't concede on this. Prey made a face full of dissatisfaction and walked outside. Alright. I forgot because I was distracted chatting. I bought some supplements. You said last time that it might be because of the supplements. Thanks, Prey. If you're thankful, treat me well. My vision's totally clear. I can see every single strand on Remy's fur. You look like you lost half of your weight. And your complexion is a mess. Leanne, since when have you been here? Just now? I hesitated a bit because the shop was closed, but I came because it's important. Leanne's expression is heavy. Similar to Leanne from a few days ago, it's a face I've never seen before. How's your health? I don't know. The symptoms are typical flu-like, but the diagnostic kit says there's no problem. Because your body isn't sick. I suppose so. I also think it's strange to get sick just from missing a few supplements. Maybe it's a psychological cause. Since this thing I thought made everything okay disappeared, my body might be reacting sensitively. It's probably a psychological cause. I'm somewhat of an expert in this field, so you can trust me. Nico, why do you keep laughing while reading? This is something funny. Probably I wouldn't laugh at. It's been a while the last time I see you amused. What? I'm all the time amused. All the time. Come to think of it, that's strange. What is? I, a human, repair EVEs. And you, an EVE, make medicine for humans, Leanne. I've never thought about it like this before. But being in the position of receiving a diagnosis, it really hits home. You could call it an instinctive attraction. Maybe it's a habit of seeking what you lack. I, who can't control emotions well, obsess over ingredients and numbers, and making medicine that affects emotion, and being attracted to a bland and dull mechanic. Might be wishing for something I don't have. Something you don't have. The main character is auch dense as fuck. Maybe I just didn't hop in the stream for a while. I mean... Depends on what game I'm playing. I guess. Moreover, if you lost something you had, it might be natural for that craving to double. Chris, are you ready to hear the expert's opinion? It's scary when you say it like that all of a sudden. The supplements you gave me. The analysis results are out. Oh, if it's that, then it's fine. The phrase expert's opinion is quite scary. It sounds exactly like I've caught a serious disease. In fact, since I use it often myself, it was a complaint I couldn't make excuses for I've pointed out. Both Prey and Leanne. Thinking back to how they both reacted with a surprise to that word. I certainly thought Leanne would point that out, but Leanne didn't. Your medicine is a memory suppressant. It's a type of neuromodulator distributed on the market. and it's presumed that even the memory of the medicine was suppressed as a side effect. Don't tell me, the one we talked about a few days ago? Amnestics. Right, it's the same product. It affects dramatically imprinted memories, but since the criteria are vague, it can entail many side effects. In other words, the fact that you're taking this and that specific memories are being suppressed by it doesn't necessarily mean those suppressed memories were the reason you took the medicine. So I won't know until my memory fully returns. The problem is it might not return. Roughly about 0.2% report this side effect. 0.2% isn't a realistic number. It'll come back, right? In medical practice, 0.2% is incredibly dangerous. You shouldn't think so loosely. And I'm worried. Amidst her professional and cool-headed demeanor, Leanne's childish side that occasionally pops out was enough to break the serious atmosphere and make me chuckle. What? It's your business, aren't you worried? The fact that you just stopped the medication affects your body enough to cause trouble means there's a high chance it was suppressing a powerful trauma. I'm extremely worried, but I can't help finding your reaction funny, Leanne. Really? You really... I'm a patient, Leanne. I was scared of how you'd react, so I suffered from all kinds of delusions. I came up with dozens of ways to respond, and barely managed to come here. But seeing you smirking like that, I feel like an idiot for being serious for nothing. Leanne drummed on a blanket covering me, like a percussion instrument, then showed a clumsy smile. Sorry for not being a serious person. If you're sorry, check my body condition a bit. I was worried about you, so I tried to use another repair shop. What? Using another repair shop instead of D1AL-ogue? I can't tolerate that. Sit down quickly. No, wait. Leanne's request service maintenance to keep D1AL-ogue's regular customer. Doesn't look like there's a big problem on the outside. I think we need to look a closer look. Bro, virus. Oh no, narcotic substances have spread. If we delay, nearby modules and units will be infected. Moving I feel like I'm losing my mind, Alter. Die Alte ist durch. Moving carelessly will spread it. Moves before infection are shown at the top right panel. Narcotic substances will infect die darum. Synthesize infected units into higher ones to remove them. It will spread out of control. Let's remove them quickly. Ach, ich muss nur den Virus entfernen. Ach, und die hat 2 Viren. Okay. Das heißt, ich will das mit so wenig Muss wie möglich machen. Wait. Ah nee, ich wollte schon sagen, die wurden jetzt auch infiziert. Oh, man kann nicht... Ah, okay. Hm. So, das kriege ich weg, aber das blaue... Ah, okay, aber die kleineren sind ja viel einfacher wegzukriegen. Okay, nee, never mind. Das ist ja gar nicht so schlimm. Ist das weg? Das ist auch infiziert. Dann mache ich so. Ja, blau wird jetzt ein Ding noch, ne? Bei den Viren muss man echt min-maxen, den Scheiß. Ich brauche way more blue stuff. Okay, da sind ein paar neue gespawnt. Upgrade Dials Berry to Max. Ach, das hier. Immer wenn das Feuer gegangen ist, habe ich einmal... Ach so. Das Ding ist... Also zumindest ich benutze die Batterie so gut wie gar nicht. Lian, what did you do? Why is the inside of your core contaminated with narcotic substances? Because of that, the core is overheating to warming levels. Recently, busy work piled up, so I added a unit with awakening painkiller effects. I thought it would be fine if I used it briefly and removed it. It wasn't the time to worry about others. It's at a level where it wouldn't be strange if you collapse right now. Endure it even if it hurts. No, that's just no. Can't stand it? No, keep going. Ayo, die kinky Bish. Nein, ich habe mich zugebaut. Five Turns. Ich kriege das in 5 Turns nicht weg. Oh, hätte ich was zum Rot machen. Wie kriegt man die? Ich habe das nicht verstanden, wie man die Dinger kriegt. Oh, wait. Ich könnte den gelb machen. Das bringt mir aber auch nichts. Ich mach den hier hin und dann scheiß drauf. Einfach nur, damit ich mehr Zeit habe. Ist vielleicht nicht super effizient, aber der blaue ist auch. Oh mein Gott. Der wird halt schon... I'm losing my mind? Habe ich zu lange gebraucht? Wieso kann ich die nicht moven? Ich habe keine blauen. Still not enough blue. I need blue. Das eine Teil hier nimmt mir so viel Blau weg wahrscheinlich. Ich glaube, das wird kein guter Abschluss. Holy fuck. When I'm in your hands, I forget so many things. Piles of documents, complex human relationships, everything feels like someone else's business happening far away. If you lose consciousness here, it means your neural network might get initialized. Was soll das denn heißen? Initialized. Hold on tight. What the fuck, Alter? Das ist ein Dreier. Wie soll ich den denn wegkriegen? Einen von denen kann ich gelb machen. I need way more yellow. Warum gibt ihr mir so wenig Yellow? Jetzt habe ich blau ohne Ende, jetzt wo ich das nicht mehr brauche. 2 Turns. Also ich muss jetzt einmal eine Sache machen und dann muss ich aufpassen. Okay. That's fine. Okay, dann sind die extra Viren sind schon mal weg. Okay, jetzt soll ich es aber haben. Oh mein Gott, Alter, dass man... I guess ich hätte Rechtsklick machen können, um das zu canceln. Da denkt man ja nicht dran. Legs are trembling. Circuit short treatment is done. Fortunately, the maintenance proceeded quickly and finished without any issue. Do you feel any discomfort? Water. Maybe because of the overheating core. There was a lot of coolant discharge. Ayo, die Alte. Even I was surprised. Wait a moment, I'll get some drinking water ready. Leanne, having composed herself, showing no trace of the weak appearance from a moment ago, had returned to the appearance I knew. Whew, I feel like I'm regaining my senses now. I've narrowed down the list of suspected suppressed memories. Would you like to hear if it's okay with you? I'm curious. What secrets are hidden in my body? The first candidate is your sister. Michelle? You talk every day and lived with your parents until a few years ago, right? And she's also the reason you decided on your career path. Yes? Do you remember what your sister looks like? Her job and residence? When was the last time you met? I don't know. Actually, even this morning. I asked Michelle where she lives. Come to think of it, I didn't get an answer. Did something happen to my sister? We can't know. The criteria for commercial suppressants are vague as hell. Just because you cherish your sister, the memories of your sister could be suppressed. But my parents strongly recommended taking this medicine. And the fact that my sister refuses to tell me her personal information probably means there's a high chance something happened. Again, the poor quality of the medicine you're taking is enough that even our pharmaceutical executives agree. It's better to avoid excessive guessing. For all that, you use the fact that this medicine sells well as a basis to imply that your research isn't needed, Leanne? Since it sells well, even if it made poorly like this, it meant let's not spend money and time on perfection. Anyway, seems my guess was right. Honestly, it was suspicious. Talking for years with a conversation partner you can't properly explain, while communicating for years, and just brushing it off his little sister. It was enough to consider it someone threatening my place next to you. What the fuck? But a few days ago, you didn't remember the age or residence of the sister you chatted with for years. In seeing you not even thinking that was strange, you were the spitting image of the side effect sufferers I've seen in my research. So that's why your expression suddenly. Rather than speaking without certainty, I wanted to know the clear facts first. Sorry if I seemed angry. No, it's okay. And what about the second one? If Michelle is the first candidate, then there should be at least a second one. The second one is, actually, this isn't as clear as Michelle. It might just be defining your tendencies as the abnormal. It is abnormal. Born as a human, a social animal, turning my back on society, and liking EVEs more than humans is hard to see as normal, isn't it? That confidence. Fine, I'll speak without worrying about it. It was Polar Night Day. Polar Night, whether positive or negative, is a day you can't help but pay attention to. It's Chroma's most beautiful week, but also the perfect target to expose Chroma's contradictions. Countless revolutionaries and terrorists flock to Polar Night Day. For those who don't enjoy the festival, Polar Night can basically be seen as a week of terror. But you don't even care about any of that. While trembling at the crimes of Cinderella and Morning Glory, you react indifferently to Polar Night, which is their all-star game. Hearing it like that, it is strange. And Polar Night Day, the week I considered most irrelevant to me, could have created memories as intense as Michelle. This is a little scary. Surprisingly, I was more worried about the sister story. Michelle is still something precious to me. If it suppresses mainly intense memories, it would be stranger if my memories of Michelle were intact. Is there anything else? Unfortunately, it's just these two. If I find anything else, I'll let you know. And how's your body? You felt like you were coming down with something. It got a little better. The sensation of my brain overclocking is still there. Maybe because it's confirmed that my body isn't sick. The chills and cold sweats have decreased. Get well soon. I don't want to postpone next week's appointment. Thanks to Leanne, my body feels much more comfortable. But experience tells me if I push myself just because I feel a bit better, I'll suffer more tomorrow. I should wrap up here, go to sleep early. Das war der 5. Tag. Das sind wahrscheinlich noch 2 Tage. Ich glaube... Oh, da habe ich aber ganz knapp geschafft mit den Target Moves. I'm safe. The purple after images have completely cleared. You really are my savior, Chris. Ich glaube... Orca als nächstes. Ich glaube... Das war's für heute. Dann machen wir morgen den Rest. Oder morgen den Rest. Weil es sind ja mindestens 7 Tage laut den Achievements. Checkt, zumindest gibt man Nachrichten von Tag 1 bis 7. Okay. Nee, es wird 7 Tage geben. Okay, nee, dann mache ich das aber auch nächstes Mal. Okay, würde ich sagen, dann war's das und dann geht's mit dem Spiel Maybe